Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of Awakening the Ancients. Last time, you guys. Fuck did you do? You talked to Arminius again, and then sanctified some cursed steel.
Oh,
We turned in the mission.
You turned in the mission. It took 4 hours to do.
It took 4 hours.
Belamir got a note.
Yeah.
Belamir got a note from
Belamir
his
also got a
professor.
note. He got a request to hire him for his services and whoever else he may wish to bring. For a special mission from his professors at the Imlor Academy in Iselden.
Yes, from one of my professors. Professor Ariador.
Where are we going?
And we had a bastion turn last time, where we had put some things in motion.
Belamir was robbed, but it was all fine.
Yeah,
Someone tested my defenses, and
Got
unfortunately, there are no leads. I have no idea who may have done it, but no one was harmed. And I expect a lot of prejudice against mages. So we're a mystery. We're powerful, and people are scared of us. And so, or it could be some kids looking to score something valuable from the nasty wizard's house.
Point is, everything was fine.
Well, no one was harmed. My 2 assistants were not harmed,
Somebody had
and they
to
were
go
not in a position to defend the house, whatever happened. So
Anyway,
All right.
so the morning Belamir gets his notice is where we'll start today's episode. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, Belamir.
I thought we were ready to travel.
Yeah, where are we going though? Like, what does the note say? We're meeting.
I made
some-
contact with everyone last time, I think, or I tried, and let them know that I received this letter and that I'm inclined to accept the request to aid my former professor, and that I'd like them to come along. I don't know the nature of it, and it would require travel to Iselden, which is quite a ways away. So it's a large undertaking, and I wouldn't want them to do it without knowing that we're probably going to be going. We could probably take a riverboat, according to the map here, through the mountain pass to the lake where Iselden is. We could probably do something like that, but
we can't take.
I wish I had more information for you, but I don't. But I can tell you this: the Academy of Magical Arts is not poor.
Let's go.
There is a flow of money that comes from office holders, politicians, cities, for a variety of things. So personal fortunes have been amassed by some of the people there. So money probably won't be the issue.
Actually, this is about a week after, right? Because you guys spent about that long traveling back to Dunloft and then doing your bastion turns.
Doing our bastion. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Got it.
So I'm preparing to leave, and I'm considering hiring a riverboat because I consider I'd probably be a little bit faster and less chance of.
Unless there's a canal that goes underneath that mountain range, I don't think that's how that river works.
It's there is. That river's one of the major passages between the western coast and then central.
Okay.
That river runs through a mountain canyon. That goes between the two areas.
I'm familiar with it, but I have never traveled it. I most of my career has been in east and north of that, but I know of Fort Embercross, and I know that there's a river passage to I guess that's Lake Iselden. I'm not sure what the lake is called.
Eris.
At any rate, so I'm thinking it could be a quite leisurely riverboat trip of several days to get to Iselden. Iselden's a lovely town. There's lots to see and do there, and I can make contact with my old professor and get more information for us.
As you are having that discussion, you hear a knock at your door.
My door?
Yeah.
It's me because I've been trying to...
whatever door you're in. I'm assuming you're indoors somewhere talking about this with everybody.
We could be in my parlor /
Are we all over for tea?
Yeah, I mean...
Sure.
Certainly.
At whatever point this is, you are all together with.
Well, I'll be
with
willing to
Belamir.
host the meeting at my house, and I do have a large central room which triples as a study and main room and library. So when I hear the knock, I'm going to yell, "Tem, get the door."
Okay.
See who that is.
He takes a break from whatever he's doing at the moment,
Binding
stands
books.
up, and opens the door, and you see an older man standing there, one that you of course recognize. Your professor. Hold on, I can throw him onto the.
All right. I guess we're not going.
Nice. Oh, he arrives. He's coming to me. Is this
There you go.
Professor Ariador?
Yeah.
He's
Oh my
huge.
god, he's a pimp.
This
I love
portrait
him.
for everybody to look at here. Oh, hold on.
Gandalf?
Damn.
Elminster?
Gandalf the purple. What?
Gandalf the purple.
Gandalf the purple.
Is he that big?
An older man with kind of like mutton chops that turn into a beard. That's how long they've gotten. Conical leather pointed wizard hat and kind of light purple robes with the periwinkle cat Dolores, periwinkle Tressum, sitting on his shoulder.
Right. What does Tem do?
Tem greets him. He says, "Good evening. Good evening, sir. This is the abode of Belamir of Gillidan. How may I assist you?" The old man says, "I know whose house it is. Are you going
Do I
to
recognize
invite
that
me
voice?
in, or are you not going to invite me in?"
Eris
You absolutely recognize the voice from
Okay.
the other room.
Eris says, "Cool cat, can I get one? Also, let this man in, please. I would like to
Tim.
touch on that."
Tem, by all means, let him enter, and I'll stand, and I will have momentary regret that I'm not wearing my yellow tunic, but it'll have to be what it is.
Sure.
And I will stand in my my library study to greet my professor when he walks in.
He kind of steps inside and says, "Well, quite the humble abode you have here, Belamir.
It's so nice to see you, Professor, and thank you for coming to my home. I didn't expect this, and yes, it is a humble abode for now, but I have great plans for this place. Please, have a seat. Is there something I can get for you? Something to drink? Something that Tim can make for you? Some food?
No, that won't be necessary.
We have some canned corn in the back.
I received your acceptance of my letter, and I'm here to facilitate faster transport for you and your companions. I've given you
I see.
about 7 days. I'm assuming that you gathered all you need in that time."
Well, first allow me to introduce my party. We've been successful on numerous adventures recently. This is Skeggy.
Skeggy is trying his best to like hide in the corner behind a bookshelf with his tea in a little saucer and a cup, and he's avoiding eye contact with the wizard.
Is he wearing the armor?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
He is
Well-
uncomfortable with a stranger seeing his blue skin.
Anyway, that's Skeggy, a master artisan. This is a fellow user of magic, Crackle.
Crackle just kind of like looks at him like, "Hi, I like your hat."
Wonderful to meet you. It's hard to find kobolds anywhere other than the internal areas of the Levendfjell Wastelands.
This is Eris, a priestess
Eris.
of nature.
Eris crosses her arms and goes, "Sup."
Well,
And,
fine greetings to you too.
There is another member of our party who is absent, but hopefully will join us for this adventure. And unfortunately, they're not here right now because there was a winter storm in Florida.
Not heard of this strange land, Florida.
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 Well, Professor, please have a seat, and by all means, tell us what you need us to do.
Well, we shall not discuss it here. We shall discuss it under the protection of the wards of the Imlor Academy. Now, as I've said, I have facilitated I have facilitated faster transport for us all. So, whenever you are prepared, we can depart, and I will forthwith discuss the details of your journey.
Oh dear. Are we... This faster transport, are we talking about a portal?
No.
Oh,
Nothing
good.
so garish.
Because you know how sick I get when I go through portals.
No, well, we will be using
Honda
teleportation.
CRV.
Portalcraft.
We'll be using what will we be using? Portalcraft? No, not Portalcraft.
not
What are we using?
We'll be
Okay.
using teleportation. We will use the headmaster's teleportation circle as the anchor. So, whenever you are
very
ready.
well. How much space do we need? I don't remember. I confess I don't remember all of my lessons.
Yeah, if we step
we need to be
outside, we'll have
outside, or-
plenty of space.
My friends, are we ready to go?
Not a portal. Teleporting.
Teleportal.
Yeah,
Allow me to get
Skeggy,
my allow me to get my travel gear and my satchel, and I will join all of you out in the back yard,
Diagonally.
or by the barbecue in the fire pit.
Skeggy enters his armor.
This is a very rudimentary game I call cornhole. Okay, so
Belamir.
Belamir will get his staff. He'll pack up all of his regular traveling things. He will tell Tem and Briss that they're in charge while he's gone. He will tell them also that he has set aside some money for the hiring of 1 or 2 persons who can watch the house, so that they can feel safer while they're working. And if there are no other issues from them, he will join the party in the outside yard.
How much does that cost so that he can take out?
I figure 10 or 12 gold is probably enough to hire a couple people for a couple months. I'm guessing in this town.
Months? I don't know about
I
that.
don't know about a couple months.
I don't know about 12.
Okay, I don't know the economy then. I would
Say-
probably leave enough money for a couple of months.
Say if you want a couple of months, if you want like the barest bones dude, 50 gold a month.
Well, I'm talking about like somebody fit to defend the place.
Yes.
So I'll leave 100 gold?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave 100 gold. Okay, I took 100 gold out. Fair enough.
Perfect.
Does anybody else have anything they need to do?
Not particularly. Crackle's ready to roll.
Okay.
So we're going to the university in Eseldon.
Belamir's going to reach in his pocket and put a small piece of birch bark under his tongue to prevent nausea.
Can I ask for one of those?
Yes, by all means.
It's against nature for real.
This is by no means proven. It's something from his
Should.
childhood that he believes. So he does it, and he thinks it helps.
I was gonna say I was gonna take some herbs.
Take herb.
Skeggy wants to leave a message for Sparrow to follow once she gets back from her visit with her family. And so he kind of like leans into Belamir and goes, "Hey, can you tell your lackeys to leave a message for Sparrow telling them where we're going?"
Yes, of course. I will do that, so that she knows where to meet us.
Sparrow has people that live at her house too. You all have workers that work for you.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not at my house, so I can't really tell my workers to do it.
I'll go to Briss and tell her that as she finds the need to be outside, because she seems to want to take long walks every once in a while, to walk by Sparrow's house and inform her of our destination and of my letter. So
You say that you have another member that is not currently with you, but may return sometime soon, yes?
yes.
I'd stop eavesdropping if I were you.
Paying attention is my forte. So, actually, I might be able to help you out with that a little bit. Let's do this. And he reaches into his long wizard sleeve and takes out a rock that he keeps there. and he hands it to one of your hirelings, whoever you were just talking to. It says, when they return, have them contact me with this, and I shall facilitate transport to them wherever they are. And you, he looks at you, Belamir, I will contact you when I have heard word, and inform you that I will be looking in on your position afterwards.
Okay. As always, as confusing as always, Professor. What is
I
it?
don't
A
know
speaking
what's confusing
stone?
about that. I think I understood it.
Do I recognize this stone? I'm not familiar with the technology here.
It's a sending stone.
Sending stone. Okay.
Sending stone.
It's an ice stone.
Is a once per day item that lets you send a 30 word text message to somebody.
It's Twitter.
Yeah.
With a stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has a character limit. It lets you send 30 words at a time, once per day, to the the holder of the other stone. So there's the come in pairs.
Okay, so it's a dedicated pairing of stones,
Yeah.
enchanted somehow, and then distributed. Okay.
It's a once per day low power walkie-talkie.
Right. Okay, cool.
He says, "Now, with that all settled, let us depart." And he steps out into your backyard and begins to draw a circle in the dirt of your backyard in chalk powder.
Okay. Very good.
Once he is done,
Belamir is doing his deep breathing, getting ready for the teleport.
Once he's done,
Hoping
he says, "Everybody
doesn't
link
get sick in
hands.
front of his friends.
Everybody link hands. Don't be shy. Come on."
Crackle grabs Skagy's hand and then kind of like tries to
Eris's
reach
finger.
up towards Eris. Yeah.
Eris's finger is ready for Crackle's hand.
Crackle's dangling in the air, his feet.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, holding him up.
Okay.
And he says some arcane words under his breath, under his beard, and you watch as the chalk outline of the circle, the magic circle that he's drawn, begins to light up and glow a bright orange glow, and you feel a tug on your diaphragm as if you were about to fall down a very high precipice. And he opens his eyes, and you feel that tug intensify for a brief moment. You feel your vision blur and tunnel to the point where it's just a tiny prick of light, and then all of a sudden you are standing inside of a very nice office in an alcove on top of a stone platform with a very similar circle carved into it.
So he bends over and the helmet opens up and a bunch of vomit spills up.
Belamir will break hands and take a few stumbling steps away as his stomach churns and settles. He's sort of half bent over, staring at the ground for a second with his eyes closed, as his equilibrium is thrown for a loop for a second.
Eris pats his back.
Feel so good.
Gets me every time.
Yourselves? I shall have one of the interns clean that up.
Well, I didn't vomit, did I? Okay.
No,
No,
He did.
he did.
Oh, make me roll Constitution. Come on.
One of the
you can
freshmen.
if you want to.
I want to.
Go for it.
He throws up.
Con check.
We'll call it a medium DC. Con save. You're fine.
Oh, no problem.
You're fine. The root helped.
The root must have helped. I believe that it did. It's not root. It's birch bark.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever, dog.
Birch bark. Yeah, birch
We're
bark.
like, sure.
So the professor steps off of the platform, and you have been in here before, Belamir, a couple of times. Once your head is done spinning, you recognize this as the headmaster's office. And you watch Professor Ariador go and sit at the headmaster's desk.
Really? That's
Across from
a
him.
change. All right. So he's the headmaster.
So he sits across. He sits in the big leather high-backed chair, and he waves a hand, and several other chairs on the periphery of the room scoot forward of their own accord and kind of form a semicircle in front of the desk for him to sit.
All right. I will have a seat.
Says now, to business. Now that we are away from prying eyes and ears, we can discuss why I have summoned you here. As I'm sure you've noticed, Belamir, the headmaster's office is currently being occupied by myself, though I am not the headmaster of Imlor Academy.
Oh, I see.
That honor belongs to my esteemed colleague, Headmaster Silbrennis, who, as you are aware, takes to scheduling forays, expeditions into the Levendfjell Wastelands to do research on the large amount of elemental activity in said area. On his latest excursion, however, he has not returned in the timetable that he said, and in fact it has been about a week since we have expected him back.
I see.
Of course, we, as is the other professors and I, are not in a position to abandon students here at the Academy, and we also do not want anyone overhearing that the headmaster has gone missing for fear that, well, that the academies would be investigated by the Amber Guard here in Lauren Vale. So, keeping this quiet is of the utmost importance. The headmaster, last we heard, was investigating a specific area of the wastelands, and he waves a hand in the air, and you can see kind of a three-dimensional image of a map of the continent appears before you. And then he taps a finger on one specific part of the Levendfjell Wastelands, right about here.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Where?
Right here.
Oh, close.
I was on a different tab. Okay.
He says he was investigating higher than normal geothermic activity happening at that specific location. And he had made several excursions out to that location before, but he has not returned from his latest one. So we, the faculty of Imlor Academy, wish to hire some of you to make an excursion down to that area yourselves, see if you can't figure out what happened to the headmaster. If he is in fact deceased, or if he can be rescued from whatever it is he was doing.
You can tell, like, Eric, I don't know if anyone's looking at Crackle, but if any of you do, you can tell, like, he is seriously uncomfortable with the idea of going into the Levendfjell Wastelands.
Eris goes, how much we talking, Dumbledore?
Does she know who Dumbledore is?
I'm trying to make a joke.
Your conversation...
Professor, I would certainly lend my skills at no cost to the Academy to find out what happened to our headmaster. However, it's been several years since I've left, and my companions and I are seeking to make our way in the world, you must understand. There must be some remuneration or something you have in mind for us?
Of course. We would not expect such a dangerous expedition to be performed for free. No, your recompense will be decided by whoever the headmaster of the Imlor Academy is, come whatever you find. But rest assured that it will be well worth your while.
Skeggy pats Crackle on the back.
Crackle kind of looks up at him like, hey, I don't know if I can go back.
Back?
A conversation for another time. As he's kind of like trembling.
Professor, could you give us a few moments to discuss this?
You're very welcome to, but time is of the essence.
Perhaps we could use the veranda outside your office?
You may, or use the waiting room on the opposite side of the hallway, if you wish. I don't believe that we have a lecture in there today.
May I use the water slide in the corner?
Can we
Water
then?
slide is for faculty only.
And for students of the week. Okay, so
It's only for the person on the dean's list.
the dean's lists members only.
It's a special.
Fucking
To watch
cork
the-
boards up with like fucking like pizza party plans and like fucking a jar of marbles that counts up to a donut party and like
Yes. So if we can take our leave and find a place to sit down, I want to give Crackle a chance to explain his reticence.
explain yourself.
Well, I didn't want him to have to, if he's uncomfortable in front of the headmaster or the Professor Ariador. So
Yeah.
if we could do that. Crackle?
Yeah, are we all stepping out?
Yeah.
Crackle, you seem upset.
We're all surrounding him.
Yeah, everyone's looking down at the 2-foot-tall lizard. Crackle kind of like looks around and like I guess like so we're out on like a balcony, right? Is what you had said?
Sure.
I was thinking there was a, probably an outer balcony
Sure.
outside, but it doesn't matter
Okay,
really.
well,
You could, so there's
Crackle kind of like
we'll say that there's
Okay.
there's a veranda outside, a large balcony attached to this office, and as you step outside, you realize that you are in the tallest of was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towers that kind of form a 5-pointed pentagram on the campus of this academy grounds, and you also see from your view off in the distance, you see the city of Aseldon a couple of miles away down the hill. So the Imlor Academy itself is removed from Aseldon by a couple of miles and kind of apart from the city itself, though it is considered part of Aseldon.
Sure, okay.
You see like the
can
high walls.
Can I see it
and
all
the
like the
stone
mountain
buildings.
range in the distance?
Oh,
Like down here, is that too far away?
I'm sure you could.
No, so
Like
you guys
fucking
are
Mordor.
for all intents and purposes here.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And from
So
your-
yeah, Crackle kind of.
From your perch, you can
Go
look.
for it,
You're
yeah.
looking like you're looking.
You can probably see the
this
mountains in
way.
the far
You're like
distance.
you're like a little bit outside of the thing, and then
Okay.
facing the city this way.
From the top of the tower, Eggy has never seen quite a beautiful view in all his life.
Aseldon's a pretty town.
Overlooking the lake, the forest.
I enjoyed my time here.
So Crackle kind of looks out through the railings because you can't see over him, and he is kind of looking off in the distance, almost in like a 1,000-yard stare kind of deal, where he's kind of not really looking at anything. And as he begins to explain, well, if you see, I'm sure Belamir, you heard your old professor talking about how it's very rare to see a kobold outside of Levendfjell, and it's frankly one on his own. And Skaggy may know a bit of my past, but as you see, I was born deep in the Levendfjell Wastes, to a large tribe of actually red kobolds. And I mean, look at me. I'm not very red. And you see, we, as he's kind of like shaking and trembling, trying to like work up the courage to talk about it. There was a dragon, you see, and kobolds. We do tend to worship them. They're the greatest version possible of us. And you see. Can me.
I know, I just saw it.
And I'm mute.
You see, they don't look too kindly upon us little kobolds. More of slaves per se. Just handling their daily business, doing whatever they need. But they didn't treat me so well, not being a red kobold. And I don't know if I can go near there and risk returning to where it was. I escaped once, and I don't know if I could do it again. And he just kind of like is trembling, almost unable to speak anymore.
My friend, you are stronger than you were then, and you now have a family of friends with you. No matter what.
Stronger than I was. He like kind of whips around to look at Skeggy. Sure, stronger, but have you ever ran into a full-size dragon?
I guess not.
No, and I wouldn't want to.
It's a force you couldn't begin to understand. There's nothing you can do. I only got out through sheer luck. And if we weren't going where we think we are, we're in some danger, guys.
Did Homeboy Wizard say what this location was that this guy was in? Is it like a specific area that has any significance? Or is it just a, spot of land?
He didn't give you details, but on the map it's a big old crater.
He was studying elemental magic
geothermic activity.
Okay. Crackle, you're not the same creature that left the wastelands those years ago. You are now a free sword. You are now an established user of magic. Whatever they think you were then, you are not that now.
Crackle kind of looks down at his like 3-fingered clawed hands and just kind of stares at them as like little bits of lightning crackle in his hand. And he's like, I guess, but I don't know if you guys understand what we could be up against should we be found.
Well, tell us.
You've never seen the terror. They may have treated me like shit, but they were my family, and if you messed up even a little, he'd snap you up. I'm only the size of one of his teeth, maybe. He would just eat us. He didn't care. We were nothing to him.
Did this dragon have a name?
Garrett, I don't remember if we ever came up with a name.
You weren't working directly with the dragon.
Yeah, it was
you
just
were
like...
working for a tribe that gave stuff to the dragon.
Yeah, that was like forced to, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know if he... Think you would tell us his name? Think you would care?
Let me see if I can
So
find
you were
it.
hunted... Your people were hunted by a dragon in that same area?
My people were forced to do things for the dragon.
By a dragon.
Yeah, basically, we just had to like do stuff for the dragon, whatever it told us to, whether it was gather food, gather resources.
Skeggy,
My people...
Oh, just go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Skeggy steps out of his armor and to look Crackle in the eye. And he says, "Sonny, I know a thing or two about servitude and escaping those bonds as well. It's something we share. But you will never know how good it feels to be free if you do not confront that which makes you afraid."
Rocco, looking back down his hand, says, "You're right. Clearly, this headmaster is important to this school, and this school is important to Belamir. We have to at least try." And
Now
kind
we
of just
got
like nods to himself.
We got 4 noggins between us and a whole lot of magic. I think we got a lot of better chances than you did just by all your lonesome.
You may have been alone when you were living there, but you're not alone now.
Hey,
Wow,
do
this
what
is
we
like
have
that.
to do.
This is almost like that scene in that Secret Level episode.
It's like an after-school special.
Remember to unmute yourself when you want to talk, Hannah. I think I heard you talking, but I didn't hear you.
Did nobody hear me?
No.
No one heard you.
I said think of the bragging rights. I can't
And
hear
Crackle.
anybody anymore.
It is quite the dangerous mission, and I'm sure this would go well towards me improving my rank with the sellswords. We'll do what we came here to do. And with that, he kind of like turns to Belamir and is like, I think we're ready to talk to your master again.
All right.
Not knowing, yeah.
Does anybody else have anything that they want to say now before I accept this mission?
Nope, we're with you.
Very well. Crackle, I appreciate your bravery. And as I said, you may have left on your own, but you're not returning on your own. All right,
Crackle
let's go.
nods
Let's
at
go
him.
talk to Professor Ariador.
Take his portrait off the screen.
I can't hear them.
Excuse me.
All right. Professor, we have accepted this task. We will trust you and forego negotiation for remuneration and reward at this time. I know you're a fair man, and we'll be justly compensated. Is there anything you can tell us? Oh, is that me?
No, it's Hannah. You're good.
Is there anything you can tell us about the journey to the wasteland, or any other information that you can share with us to prepare us?
Did you accidentally turn your volume down?
Well, the way the wastelands, they're called wastelands for a reason, highly inhospitable, lots of elemental activity that we have not been able to find the source of, though we have our suspicions. According to our research, two of the major ley lines that crisscross the planet, veins of magical power, if you will, intersect underneath the volcano, the great volcano, and have in turn transformed that area of land into what can only be described as a barren badlands of fire and dust. Nary anything grows there, so you'll need to probably pick up some supplies from the neighboring town to bring with you.
They're making gnocchi in the cafeteria.
It seems to me that Fort Embercross is perhaps the best place to start journeying there, and then from there foray into the wasteland.
Yes, we have contacts in Fort Embercross. We can get you as close as Fort Embercross today, so if you find yourselves ready to travel yet again. But Fort Embercross is as far as our reach goes.
Well, we can make contact with the military in Fort Embercross, let them know what we're doing. Perhaps they have news that will help us. But it seems to me, for now, our first leg of our journey will be to Fort Embercross. Perhaps establish a base for us there, and then foray into the wasteland. And it we may be able to hire a few men to help us to become part of our party. That seems to be the first step, and then get news of the wasteland from the people at the fort. They will certainly know any recent events, and we go from there. I have not been to the wasteland, Crackle. It's going to be even more important for us that you let us know what to expect.
Just for the Crackle. So when he escaped from Levendfjell, he kind of just wandered. He's never been to this whole right portion, to the right of the volcano. He went more north towards Durabar, through those mountains. And it was kind of like a hectic journey. He was barely alive, barely could find food to survive.
Okay.
And then keep in mind also that Fort Embercross is a military institution, not a mercenary fort.
Oh,
so
okay.
Hiring people, not a thing.
Not a thing. But we can make contact with the military there and let them know,
Well,
We
their job has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, they're there to defend.
They have a standing relationship with Imlor Academy because they are essentially the wardens that keep all the elemental garbage from spilling out into Lorenvale.
Civilized lands.
Yeah, they're the bastion against the elemental powers that be within the Levendfjell Wastelands.
Osgiliath, if you will.
Kinda, yeah. They're a barrier, and they are very well defended as a result. It's a joint effort between two kingdoms that Fort Embercross exists.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, the fucking coalition don't even have nothing. They don't got no wall.
Not at the moment, no. The coalition is, or rather, the Concord is.
Concord.
They're a relatively newer nation of people.
You're talking about on the West Coast there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although I will say, there's probably some pretty good trade. There's probably some money.
They've just started establishing Dunloft and Ascua. Before that, it was 4 major cities and then a bunch of little villages in between.
Have there been any incursions, or do the activities in the wastelands pretty much stay in the wastelands?
Activities in the wastelands pretty much stay in the wastelands. There are incursions from time to time.
Didn't Dunlop have some goblins and some orcs? Do they?
I mean, yeah.
What's in the wasteland? Do I know anything about the wasteland? I don't know.
Make me a nature check or a history check, your choice.
Well, I'll do history for sure.
Not much.
Okay, I don't know much about it.
The most you know is that, so in your experience, one of the things that you would have known about the Wastelands is that the upperclassmen of Imlor Academy, part of their curriculum is to go on a field trip with the headmaster into the Wastelands to do their own research.
Okay.
So there's one major trip a year that the top students get to take, where they actually go out in the field and do elemental research and collect samples and shit like that.
So since I did not do that.
Yeah, you were not an upperclassman.
I'm aware of it,
so,
but I wasn't high enough in the rankings to go.
Well, you just didn't spend enough time there.
Yeah. Okay.
You could have easily been one of the students that had the opportunity to go, but you left before you could seize that opportunity. Right. So you know about that, and you know that there are, as a result, there is, there's a lot of stories about creatures that live in the wastelands, and what is what exists down there, what value you can get from them. If you defeat one, you can get some rare materials that you can sell or you can use for your projects or whatever. But apart from that, not really a whole lot to know.
Okay.
I was gonna ask if there was a way Skeggy could access a library to do any kind of research on notable things. He is interested in geology and magical stones and gemstones, especially having to do with elemental things. He also likes to study giants and things like that. So he one of the main reasons he came all the way out here with his new friends is to protect his new friends, but also he's kind of got this thirst for knowledge that he was we're going to a school, might be worth it to see them books.
I would be happy to show off Imlor's library to Skeggy and to Crackle if they wish. I mean, I'm happy to give a little tour if we have some time. Obviously, we're probably going to rest and start in the morning, so if there's a little bit of time, we could do that. I could show them a little. Well, we're outside of Selden, but I can show them Imlor a little bit.
We could go on a pub crawl in fucking Selden.
Well, it's very astute of you to wish to research the area you are entering before you go on your excursion. Yes, of course, the library's resources will be open to you. You're welcome to peruse them as you wish. They are down on the 3rd floor of this tower. Just simply go down 4 flights of stairs down to the 3rd floor, and you'll be able to use the research there. There are many dissertations written by the alumni of this academy that have to do with the elementals in the Levendfjell Wastelands, after all. So.
Okay.
Make yourself at home. We will have a dorm prepared for you, so you needn't stay in an inn in town. And we shall depart first thing in the morning. If you have any other questions for me, I am acting headmaster at the moment, so just knock on the door and announce yourself, and we can discuss.
Very well, thank you, Professor.
Booyah! And then Skeggy starts running downstairs to the library.
Big heavy armor. You pass a couple of very terrified students who probably think you're some kind of golem, stomping down the stairs to the library.
Skeggy's got like, it's like taking like the kid with special interests in like, you know those like gemstones books in the library that you just fucking look at the pictures of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. So do I have to roll? So can I tell you what I want to research and then roll and stuff to see what I find?
Sure.
First, Skeggy wants to know about the gemstones. So are there any kind of like histories on the fucking, or geological surveys of any mining done in the region? He knows obviously what kinds of gems and metals and things came out of Durabar, but he has often wondered about other parts of the wastes, which are apparently rich in them.
Sure. That would be so. Make an investigation check, and we'll see what that turns up as.
Okay. My character sheet's so fucking fat; it takes a long time to load. All right.
18. Perfect. So, for all intents and purposes, the Levendfjell Wastelands is packed with geological activity, especially considering its proximity to the volcano. The area itself is so rich with minerals and gemstones and all sorts of stuff, but it is so incredibly hard to get them because they're all guarded by various elemental creatures, and there's also the dragon to consider. But for whatever reason, the availability of high value materials is very high in the wastelands.
Okay. Next, he wants to know about the biggest and baddest fauna out there, namely the dragons, and or any histories that involve, giants as well.
Okay. That would be another investigation check.
Possibly a conflict between the two. Oh, I rolled better.
I was going to say it's a little bit of a harder DC. Hold on one second. Find my notes on it real quick.
Ooh, I can make my little homunculus. Okay. I have a infusion left over.
Let's see. Okay, so I thought I had come up with the name of the dragon that's down there, but I guess I didn't.
Dragon name generator.
So here's what we're gonna do. Because I know the history of the dragon, this makes a little bit more sense. So in terms of the history of just Doroware as a whole, tens of thousands of years ago, probably actually longer than that. Hold on, let me see. I can have a timeline of things. I can actually probably tell you exactly how long ago. Yeah, about 10,000 years ago. There was, of course, the Great War between the giants, or the Titans, rather, as they used to be called, and the gods, who still walked on the mortal plane. And there was a whole kerfuffle with outsiders, extraplanar beings that the Titans kind of let onto Doroware and started fucking things up. The gods pushed them back and started reinforcing the boundary between the material plane and the other planes. Part of the punishment that the giants had to go through was to become giants from their titanic forms. And some of the higher-ranking generals, some of the most powerful among them, were put to sleep for a very long time. It is said that one of them, one of the big ones, is put to sleep underneath the volcano. And that could explain why there's such crazy amounts of geothermic activity in the area.
He just keeps farting under the covers.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
So that's the legend. The legend of there are certain places in this world where giants have been put to sleep. Very specific places where like the bigger ones are said to be kind of imprisoned, and Levendfjell is one of the most likely of those places. In terms of the dragon, dragons were created specifically by the gods to combat giants. So there's a long-standing rivalry between giants and dragons. And after the war was over, the dragons, some of them were benevolent and took up their posts and they protect mankind from the various dangers of the world, and some of them do it for a price, or started to do it for a price, and they began to kind of think of themselves as greater than the mortals, and sometimes they would rampage and blow stuff up. Sometimes they would take over entire swaths of land and ask for tribute from the people that live there. One dragon is said to live in the Levendfjell. However, at the same time, no one has seen or heard from that dragon in centuries. So it may be dead. It might not even live there anymore.
Really?
The only ones that the only people who have maybe seen the dragon is people that live in the wastelands, but even then there have been no reported sightings of any kind of dragon recently, as in like in the last several hundred years.
Oh,
By like people who wrote this book.
By anybody.
Fucking Crackle's fucking family knows what's up.
Crackle's family thinks they knows what's up.
No.
But it's, there's not like an interview with the Kobold tribe,
So the headmaster would not have thought that he was going into any particular dragon danger by going into the wastelands.
No.
Since none had been seen for centuries, and the
the
giants made
main
them sleep.
the main force of power down in the Levendfjell Wastelands is elementals, because the crisscrossing ley lines that intersect underneath the volcano are the ley lines that correspond with the plane of fire and the plane of earth. So you get a lot of elemental activity there because the barrier between the planes of fire and earth are weaker in the wastelands than anywhere else on the planet.
Okay. So the volcano may be the center of the convergence, and then the rest of the wastelands are
At our
experience
result.
sort of the power fallout. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to like the outside part. We're not going to the lava part.
Correct. Well, the entire thing is the lava part, but you're not going to the volcano.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Right. We're going to try and find the headmaster. Find out what happened to him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's go. Not a big deal.
Yeah. Okay.
I have more questions for you after the session, Garrett.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But for now, Skeggy is done with his, like, you know that montage where Gandalf goes to the fucking library and fucking, like, researches
through all
one
the
ring?
papers.
That's what I was just doing.
Sure. I'll say that probably takes you, say, a couple of hours. By the time you're done, it's supper time.
Skeggy also wants to... Oh, that is the other thing. He wants to see if they have any manuals of enchanted armor craft. To see what they know about his trade. Since this is one of the more prestigious institutions out there.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say you don't have time for that today.
Damn it!
If you wish to peruse the library at a future time, perhaps when you're not on the clock.
Can I check a book out and read it on the way?
No, they're not going to let you take a book outside of the library.
Yeah, they didn't do that back then. They're so fucking valuable.
This collection is for the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, checking out books and taking them with you is not a thing that even the students can do. The students have to do their research in the library.
Skeggy with his bulk knocks over an inkwell that one of the fucking poor students is like copying down a manuscript of all over his new manuscript.
He's like, oh God,
sorry.
it's expensive ink, man. Come on.
Belamir will fish into his pocket and drop a silver coin on the desk for the young man. My apologies.
Great.
Just ruined his fucking assignment. He's gonna get a fucking F.
Yeah.
On his
I spent 3 hours on that.
You spill it all over the fucking like margins, so like where all his fun little drawings are.
Shit. Damn it.
That's not even what a lion looks like.
It's a manicore. Fuck.
Why do all those snails have swords?
Pretty much my favorite animal. All right. Cool.
Real Napoleon Dynamite energy going on there.
Absolutely. All right. What are the rest of you doing while Skeggy's researching for hours on end?
Bar crawl.
Crackle's just hiding, dude.
We have our chambers. If you'd
In
like
his
to.
fucking
Yeah.
room. Yeah.
There's a there's an upperclassman's dorm that is prepared for you. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it'll do. At least for the night.
It's covered in fucking
I think
McDonald's bags and fucking.
This is the equivalent of Belamir going back to his old high school. So I think he's gonna wander around a little bit, see who is there to be seen, maybe look in on some professors, maybe just take a walk of the grounds and remember his time there.
Trash
You
can
tell
of
me if
freshman.
anything comes of that.
Which of the professors would you like to look in on? There are Professor Ahostria, Professor Rodriguez, Professor Ariador, of course, and Professor Thamal. Each one of them has a different, what do you call it?
Belamir's like,
Ahostria?
this is where I got drunk.
Yeah. There
Oh,
is
wait,
Ahostria?
Yeah.
Thamal? Who's the third one?
Ahostria, Thamal, Rodriguez. Those are the three that you haven't talked to yet. Ahostria is the Professor of Cosmology. Professor Thamal is the Professor of Esoterica. And Professor
Esoterica.
Rodriguez is the Professor of Chemistry.
I think for sure, Ahostria and Thamal would be the two that I would probably want to visit.
Sure. Which one first?
Ahostria.
So you have to leave this tower and go to one of the other towers.
Okay.
This tower, with the headmaster's office at the top, is kind of the upperclassmen's dormitory / classrooms / library, etc., etc. It's kind of like the senior tower. The other towers are frequented by students of all ages, but that's mostly the undergrad work that you would do. So, Professor Ahastria is at the top of the northernmost tower, we'll say. Knocking on her door. You have probably been here before. This is where you would have done divination training, where you would have done research on the outer planes, stuff like that. And Professor Ahastra answers the door. I'll put her picture up here for you all to see.
Oh. Okay.
She is, by Elven standards, middle-aged. Still very lithe and beautiful. She wears kind of like dark blue, flowing robes with patterns of stars on it, and has a number of bits of jewelry and jewels that dangle off her person, that are not just for show, but are magically enchanted with certain protections and wards and certain things.
Is she single?
Yeah, Belamir.
You don't know. You don't know. You don't have to ask.
Out of my league.
You don't know.
Imlore Academy Dating Simulator, go.
Is there any ring? Is there any ring on that ring finger there?
She's wearing like 6 rings.
You guess we'll never know.
I'll
Unless
greet
you
her,
know.
Professor Ahastria. This is Belamir. You recognize me? It's been a few years.
She kind of cocks an eyebrow and says, I heard that Professor Ariador was contacting alumni. I never expected you to answer the call.
You didn't?
No.
You didn't?
To be honest, I was expecting... what's his face? I don't remember his name.
Brian the Brave.
Marias Marask?
Brian the Brave.
I was expecting, to be honest with you, I was expecting Iscarthel to answer our summons, but...
Who?
Iscarthel. Very, very famous, very reclusive, very odd wizard that lives in the north.
An alumni.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would have heard of him. I just didn't hear the name.
He lives up north.
I just didn't hear you right.
He has a whole woods named after him. If you go up near River City, he has the whole woods up there. Is the woods of Iscarthel.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Please come in. Have a seat.
It's a pleasure to see you again. And we've responded to the professor's call for help, and we'll be venturing out tomorrow to the Wastelands to try and find the headmaster. I just wanted to stop in. It's rare that I get back into this part of the world, and it's nice to be back at Imlor, even if it's only for a day.
Well,
and it's a pleasure to see you. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, of course not. I was merely pondering some research notes. I was hoping to find out if there was something perhaps I'd missed. Notes of the headmaster's when he was going on his latest expedition. Although I'm drawing a blank at the moment. He'd mentioned
Professor,
something recently, but I don't know that he put it to paper. Mentioning an excess of activity from the elementals in the area, something that he had never seen before. But he didn't give me specifics, unfortunately.
Was it common for the headmaster to leave Imlor in this way?
Oh, yes.
Oh, he has gone on many expeditions.
He goes on an excursion once every 3 months or so. to gather materials for the labs, of course, and also to do his own private research. On occasion, I've accompanied him when there are minor fissures between the material plane and the outside that need to be closed. But apart from that, I know not what he's been researching, unfortunately. Not in any great detail.
I see. Well, it was nice to talk to you.
Of course.
Bye.
You're not going to offer to help Belamir? Be a gentleman.
He's like,
Help with what?
"You need any help grading
Help
your
with her
papers?" And he like
research.
tries to touch her hand.
Yeah, he
Well-
goes behind her, teaches her how to read.
You know, it
mansplains.
can get lonely in these towers.
Jesus Christ.
Certainly, if whatever the result of our attempt to find the headmaster, if I do find anything that I think will be of value to you, I will certainly return and share it with you.
Of course.
Belamir's like, "Just please tell me that summer meant something to you."
Merely a fling, darling.
The elf is like, "It was merely a fling."
We had our fun.
I've had thousands.
All right.
There's-
What she does say is, have you a means of contacting any of us? Have you finished your research into that spell at all?
Belamir, she's asking for your number.
The what spell? What spell? What?
She's
I'm
asking
lost.
for your phone number.
A simple sending spell.
Oh no, I don't. I don't have a sending spell.
Garrett, how does it feel to be flirting with your dad?
Who says I'm flirting? I'm just praying the professor.
I'm just kidding.
I
Relax.
sound like
You all are reading into it because she's
We're all
hot.
you should be flirting.
All right.
Kurt's like, I'd flirt with me too.
Elven.
No, I confess I never took the time to learn the sending spell. I do have a sending stone that was given to me by the professor, but that was to contact one of our party who was not available to travel with us this time.
The sending stone was left with your workers, so they could.
Right. Oh, so they could contact. Okay.
Yeah. You don't have
Yeah.
it. It might be useful to you then to have that in your repertoire. She holds out her hand expectantly.
Okay.
Me and Skeggy are like, ooh.
Skiggy's not there.
I think I'll
research it.
I'll pull out my grimoire and give it to her. Hold it out to her.
She takes it and brings it over to her desk
That's
and
great.
fishes out another object. It looks like a it's essentially an astrolabe. Several concentric brass rings, all unfolding into kind of a concentric circle of rings, with esoteric arcane writing etched into the brass of the object itself. You watch her close her eyes and begin to mutter something under her breath, and she opens up to a blank page in your grimoire and begins to trace her finger over the page, and you're watching as lines of magical ink appear on the page itself as the sending spell is being scribed into your book. So you can add the sending spell to your spell list.
Nice. Okay. Okay. When she's done, I'll thank her for it and take the grimoire back and say this was certainly could be very valuable to us. I appreciate your help today, Professor.
Of course. We're all very fond of the headmaster. So, please bring him back safely, should you be able.
We will do that. Thank you.
So awkward.
Hands you your book and goes back to whatever she was doing.
If I'm going to add this, let's see. How do I need to add it?
Search up sending in the compendium.
Do I just... click and drag. I can't click and drag it, can I?
I'll tell you in a second. I'm going to see if the 24 version is any different from the 2014 version. I don't think it is, but let's see. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. There's some semantics in there. So what I would do is drag the PHB, not the PHB 24, but the PHB version into your thing just to get the baseline in there, and then replace the duration and the text for the spell with the 2024 version.
Oh, it's a level. Wait, is it a level 3 spell?
It is a level 3 spell.
Okay, I see it. I got it in there. I send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. Creature hears the message in its mind. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good. It's in my spellbook.
And then go ahead and take the 2024 version and copy paste the text from that and change the duration to instantaneous instead of 1 round.
Oh. Casting time, 1 action. Wait. What? Duration, instantaneous. Okay.
Is anyone else doing anything while he's fixing the spell?
No.
I need to cut and paste from the Player's Handbook 2024?
Yep.
I'm meditating.
Meditating, sure.
You're in the school botanical gardens, mutating all the fucking plants.
Yeah. If you want to, you can go find the gardens. There's
Okay. I'll go look for the gardens to meditate in.
not hard to find. It's the only tower with an abundance of plants around the base of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you walk, as you're kind of walking throughout the garden and enjoying the nature, as it were, you see kind of an elderly-looking human woman, a pointed hat, and a pea soup green shawl and robe, kind of tending to the flowers with her magic.
Hello, ma'am.
Oh, you startled me.
What kind of plants you growing over here using magic?
You know, all kinds. Are you a student of the academy?
I like to think that I would be.
I like to think that I would.
Well,
Good answer.
the plants are for everyone. We use them in our experiments here at the academy.
What kind of experiments on people?
No, heavens no. Well, some of the more enterprising students have tried, and it's usually my responsibility to fix it when they do. I don't believe I've gotten your name, darling.
Chrysanthemum
A beautiful name.
is my name.
And my name is Eliza. It's very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Eliza. Do you mind if I meditate here? I'm really attuned to plants.
I can tell. You are of the druidic peoples, are you not?
What gave me away?
The
The
fact-
robe.
Well, you are a fearbold travelling far from home. And, of course, your druidic focus you have there.
Yeah. That's true.
Tell me, which circle do you come from?
The mutant circle of mutant folk.
Mutant circle?
of mutants.
Really? It's rare to see
Yeah.
any one of your kind outside of the jungles in the south. You must have
Yeah,
travelled a
well,
long
yeah.
way for a very special reason.
Yes. Absolutely. I feel like I want to talk like her.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yes, of course.
Oh gosh.
You're just like mocking her.
Yeah.
Well, are you excited? Are you excited for your big festival coming up soon?
Oh I'm so excited. You have no idea.
Do you even know what festival he's talking
It's
about?
only 6 months away.
It's only 6 months away.
Do you know what festival he's talking about?
Yeah,
I gave it to you.
If not, you should. Dude.
I mean, you gave it to me. What are
I
you talking
should have.
about?
I should have copy pasted it to you.
No, you didn't. You didn't do anything.
Fuck.
I was like, hey, this
What?
is definitely like a lead into something. You can't just say, oh,
Yeah,
yeah, we're talking
Yeah,
about.
I know, but like,
This is definitely a lead in.
Garrett
Something's
didn't give
going
me
on.
anything to go off of.
The Estru Enween, or the celebration of life's beginning, is a festival that all druids go and experience once every so often.
Eris says, I'm so excited. I've weaved so many baskets for this event. You have no idea. My friends don't even know. I'm going to give them their baskets soon so that we can celebrate.
Well, it's good to see your preparations are underway. It's going to take you quite a while to reach the valley.
It's a very
I
big
wish
deal.
that I could join myself, but unfortunately I've not been invited.
Oh, can I invite you?
Invite her.
No, I'm afraid that would be... I would have to be a part of one of your circles, dearie. They don't allow outsiders at the festival, unfortunately. No matter how much I've asked.
They're a very cagey group.
Well, I will leave you to your meditation. If you need anything, please let me know. I'll be over here by the rhododendrons.
I'll be over here by the...
Rhododendrons.
She goes back to doing her thing.
I sit down and meditate by the chrysanthemums.
Very well.
Because that's what I looked at to say my name.
Sure. You can take an inspiration for that if you want.
Okay.
Okay. Have you done fixing sending spell? Father,
What's that?
are you done with your sending spell?
Oh, yeah, I finished it, yeah. I'm just adding some things in my bio to remind me of our visit to Imler.
Got it.
Yes.
And then you wanted to go see Professor Thermal, right?
Thamal, yeah.
Cool. Professor Thermal is in another tower. Professor Thermal, the
princess is in another tower.
Yes, the princess is in another tower. Where did I put the academy? I literally just had it here, and now I can't find it. There it is. Professor Thermal, Professor of Esoterica. This professor is in another tower, one that twists impossibly like a corkscrew or like a drill bit up into the sky from where it's at on the ground. And of course, Professor Thamal is at the top of his tower. This is toward the end of the day, so classes have ended. All the professors have retreated to their studies for the night. Knock on his door. It's a shorter than normal door for a reason. You know that because Professor Thamal is a halfling, and his offices are made to accommodate for himself. So you watch the doorknob turn, he opens, and he is, of course, standing there. He's wearing kind of like a purple vest over kind of a long flowing shirt. He's got very smart pants and shoes on. Definitely someone who, at least on the outward, appears to be some form of nobility or royalty of some kind. He has very kind of short white hair that's definitely dyed because his beard is not the same color. It's very dark. And he is carrying in his hand a wand that he is kind of flipping back and forth like you would like flip a pen in between your fingers. Here, I'll give you his image in a second. Here.
Okay.
There you go.
Alrighty.
And he says, Yes, I'm very busy. What are you... Oh, Belamir. My, it's been quite some time, hasn't it?
Professor, it's very good to see you. I found myself at Imlor responding to Professor Ariador's summons, and I thought before we left tomorrow morning I would visit some of my old professors. How have you been, sir?
Well, very well considering recent events, actually. Please come in. Would you like any tea?
Thank you. Oh, no, thank you. I'm fine, thank you. How have you been, sir? How has the academy been?
He gestures over to his right, and a floating teapot and tea appears and floats over to him and pours himself a cup of tea.
Sick.
All right.
Says, I have been doing very well. My research has recently been taken up by the Amber Guard and have been paid very handsomely for it. So,
I hit my tenure.
Wonderful.
yes, I've gotten my tenure. They can't fire me now. Ha! Anyway, yes, things have been going quite well, actually.
Well, that's very, very good to hear. I'm pleased to see that you're still teaching.
Of course. Teaching is my passion, dear boy. Teaching is my passion. You know for a fact that teaching was not his passion when you were here. He was more concerned with having the students buy his textbooks instead of the other kind. He was one of those professors.
Ah, yes.
I wonder if this could have been inspired by anyone.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. If it was, I would be trying to give him an Indian accent.
Yes.
In either case, welcome. Is there anything in particular you wish to discuss? Perhaps you're looking for a new edition of my volumes?
Well, perhaps, but since we're leaving tomorrow morning, there's a limited amount of space in my satchel. We're leaving for Fort Ember, covered by your face, and
Ember Cross.
Ember what, Dad?
Ember Cross. We're leaving for the fort tomorrow on our way to the Wastelands to try and find out what happened to the headmaster. So I'm afraid that there's no space for one of your books, although I would love to have one. Perhaps when I return. However, I do want to ask you, it seems that in speaking to some of the other faculty here, that the headmaster was exploring some unusual activity, not the normal amount of expected elemental activity in the Wastelands, and that's when he disappeared. What can you tell me about that might help us find him?
Well, the professor and I, we never really discussed his research as much as I can remember. Huh.
I see.
We never really discussed his research, did we? No, it was mostly about me. Oh well. In any case, I know that he takes his whatever you call it, his quarterly excursions into the Wastelands, but I'm not entirely familiar with what he was researching. I can tell you that he consulted me on some matters of runic language. He's found a couple of times. Sometimes, some of those elementals are not elementals at all, but golems created by whoever knows, and they have esoteric writing on them that needs to be deciphered, the usual stuff. But other than that, I'm not really familiar. Sorry to say.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I certainly appreciate you talking with me about it.
Yes, of course.
Can you tell me what's new in your field? What new discoveries or events have happened in the world of esoterica?
I have recently deciphered a way to make my particular magical illusions into tangible reality. Very exciting stuff.
You've given illusions substance?
I have. Takes quite a bit of magical power to do, though. I have to work on the efficiency of the spell itself, but for now, some of the higher level mages over in the Amber Guard have been very interested in my work and its applications for their particular means, whatever they are. So I have done quite well for myself with that discovery.
Yes, it seems it would almost be a revolutionary discovery if you could give substance to illusions.
Of course. Apart from that, my research continues. Mostly, I am looking to reduce the cost of casting such a spell.
Certainly.
I've been talking with several storied individuals of a bardic nature, some of whom can do the same thing, but for far less of a cost. trying to see if there's a way I could translate their particular skill into one of my own. Anyway, that's where I'm at in my research. Higher level stuff, of course.
And the Ember Guard is interested? That seems unusual. Why would they?
The Amber Guard.
Oh, sorry, Amber.
The elven, the big old elven guard of the World Tree.
The Amber Guard of the elves. Okay.
Damn, he's hot too.
Sure. He's very well put together. He takes quite a bit of pride in his appearance.
Photos.
Well, he certainly. Well, that's certainly a groundbreaking discovery, Professor, and I will congratulate you on that. It's also nice to hear that you've been able to make a sizable amount of money from it. That also I appreciate. Perhaps we can talk more about it when we return from our journey into the Wastelands.
Perhaps we shall. And of course, I will reserve a special signed copy of my volumes for you upon your return, should you wish to purchase.
I would be pleased to purchase it upon my return. Thank you, Professor.
Of course. Now, are you sure you don't want any tea?
No, thank you. We do have some preparation to make. Unless there's a particular reason you want me to try your tea.
I mean, he seems very proud of the tea for some reason.
Okay. Then I don't want to...
I'll do this. Make either an Arcana check or an Insight check.
Oh, I was gonna say it's an illusion tea that he's trying to pass on.
Let's find out. Well, I'll try Arcana. Yeah.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
It was a teapot conjured from nothing, so he seems very proud of that fact.
See, again, this is... So I'll say, fascinating, Professor. Excellent. Is this an example of this new discovery of yours?
Very astute, my boy, very astute. I'm looking for an opinion on the taste. I can't tell if I've quite got it right. It is to my liking. But to others, not sure. Give it a sip. He conjures a teacup out of thin air, and the pot floats over and pours you a cup of tea.
All right, I'll give him my opinion.
It is extremely bland. There's almost no flavor. It's not the best tea you've had in the world.
Well, Professor, the teapot and cup have all the makings of reality. However, the tea itself is still mostly illusion. I'm sorry to say.
Drat. Oh well. I'll have to work on that. Something to think about, at least. Mm-hmm. Well, stop by my office if you wish to discuss any more. And good luck on your excursion, of course.
Thank you, Professor. I hope to see you before too long.
All right.
Okay. That was really all I wanted to do.
You can take an inspiration for talking with your professors as well.
All right, what does that do? What am I doing?
It gives you mark it off on your sheet under inspirations.
Under inspirations?
Yeah, there should be an inspiration tick.
Counter? Like a counter?
No, I'll tell you. Hold on. See in the top left of your screen, there's a little box.
Inspiration, yeah.
Yeah, click the box. There you
go. Okay.
That gives you essentially a free re-roll of a d20. So if you
have free reroll of what am I rerolling?
Any d20 that you roll, if you don't like the roll, you can reroll it.
Oh, nice. Okay, I feel very inspired by the professor to try and do something to make money in books, which is what we talked about. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy about that. This would be a good guy to know if I start dealing in books, or actually, he could become my competition. All right.
Well, possibly.
Let's talk.
Well, he's esoteric, though, and I
could buy his books and sell them on occasion.
His research focuses mainly on the unknown and ethereal. Subjects include magical theory, divinations, illusions, runic linguistics, and ancient history.
Yeah, I think he wouldn't be I mean, this journey to the Wastelands is going to result in, Belamir is going to be taking notes when he returns, if he returns, and he'll be definitely starting writing a book on this adventure to the Wastelands, since there's so much mystery still.
Well, we gotta get there first.
We got to get there first.
Which we can do.
So let's long rest.
Yeah, go ahead and take your long rest. I don't think you guys have spent anything. So.
I don't think we. Yeah.
Oh wait, there is one thing I wanted to do. I think I have to do it in a long rest. Let me check.
It's
but
pizza
I wanted
night
to,
in the cafeteria.
Oh, calzones.
There's a student band in the USED.
Yeah.
Are you going to the pep rally later?
Yeah.
Um,
We have a game of non-denominational broom ball.
Broom. Oh fuck! No, don't do that.
A non-trademark infringing game involving brooms and balls.
Yes.
Wiggage.
It's quite the contact sport.
So I wanted to summon my little homunculus.
Homunculus?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think you could just do
Homunculated.
that, right? Do you have to spend any materials for that? I don't think you do.
A gem or crystal worth at least 100 gold pieces.
And you have that, I'm assuming, somewhere.
I don't, but I have like 200 gold pieces.
Okay. You
So
could go into Selden and find a jeweler and just buy something real quick. Let me see if I have a name for it real quick. It would be under Levendfjell. Selden.
I wonder what it should be. So I can learn to. I learn intricate methods for magically creating a special homunculus that serves me. Item you infuse serves as the creature's heart, which around the creature's body instantly forms. You determine the homunculus's appearance. Some artificers prefer mechanical-looking birds, whereas some are like winged vials or miniature animate cauldrons. The homunculus is friendly to you and your companions. It obeys my commands. See this creature's game statistics in homunculus stat block. Garrett, give that to me. In combat, the homunculus shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It can move and use its reaction on its own, but the only action it takes on its turn is dodge, unless I take a bonus action on my turn to command it to take another action. That action can be one in its stat block or some other action. If you're incapacitated, the homunculus can take any action of its choice, not just dodge. The homunculus regains 2d6 hit points if the mending spell is cast on it. If you or the homunculus dies, it vanishes, leaving its heart in its place.
Yeah.
And it can do a couple different things. I need to see the stat block, but I think
Is it an infusion thing?
it's an infusion.
Okay.
And I have 3 total infused items, and I have used only 2 of them so far. One is Belamir's ring, and the other is Crackle's hat.
Oh, Crackle's hat.
Yeah, you still have Mind Sharpener hat, Crackle, so don't forget
Yep, Mind Sharpener, it's on my thing.
There it is.
I haven't got a chance to use it yet, but I can't wait to. Can't wait to sharpen my mind.
But inside the dorm, it's very crowded because I guess we only got 1 dorm.
No, you'd be given a couple of rooms probably.
Oh, who's sharing a room with Skeggy?
I'll share with
I
Skaggy.
think Crackle, yeah. I get my own
It's
space.
just
I'm
awkward
really
between
tall.
Belamir and fucking Eris.
Right. Well, since Sparrow's not here, I may as well share with Skaggy.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense. Ursa's
Skeggy's
like,
like,
it,
You wanna try out my armor? You wanna go in there?
Hell yeah!
It's really fun.
Crackle, like, is trying to grab, like, the neck rim. See if he can crawl in.
It's like, so I imagine it like Fallout 4 power armor, like
Oh,
it
okay,
opens
okay, okay.
Yeah.
and you like kind of jump in.
Hell yeah, I want to jump in.
I don't know if anyone can wear your armor but you.
No, it's just it's a suit of magical armor. I can don it or doff it, and it can be worn by, I think, anyone. It doesn't say it can't be worn by anyone else, I don't think. Yeah, no.
Let's see. Spends to cover your entire body, even though you can retract and deploy the helmet as a bonus action. Armor replaces missing limbs functioning as a thing. Can doff or don it as an action.
That's kind of cool that other people could use it.
Or you gotta go out this way.
Conduit, yeah. You could turn a suit of armor you are wearing.
But
yeah, I mean, it doesn't say that they can't do it, so why not? I would say that he wouldn't be able to use it because he's not proficient in armor.
Well, I was gonna wear it for shits and giggles. I
Yeah,
wasn't
I
actually
mean, you
gonna
could,
wear
you
it
could
for
like
like
get in
combat.
it, but like for future reference, because we're establishing that other people can get in it, I'm going to say that they can't use it unless they're proficient in the armor that it is.
Fair. Makes a lot of sense.
They would have to use
Nice to me.
their own shit for it. Like they wouldn't have access to the weapons or.
Yeah.
it doesn't say
the special
anything
weapons.
about having to have proficiency in it.
That's just armor.
You just need to have proficiency in armor.
Armor's
They
just
don't
like
have.
that.
They're casters. They don't have that.
Yeah.
If you ever get a warrior in the party that can wear armor, then that might be an option. But we'll keep that in mind. Anyway, long rest completed. You guys settle down into your bunks for the night and awaken in the morning. Is there anything anyone wants to do before you undertake your journey to the wastelands?
I don't have anything else.
Nope, but Skeggy has a new little companion. It's his little homunculus, and it is a little mechanical bat.
Okay.
It flies around.
I will work on that
don't
when
think
we're
I
done with
do.
this. I didn't know that you had that yet.
No, I mean it's.
I'll get you a stat block for it and art.
I have the stat block in fucking.
Have fun.
There is a stat block in the fucking infusion section.
Yeah, but
that
I'm gonna make it a creature so that we have it on the map eventually.
Yeah, totally. It doesn't do much in combat. It's mostly a, I feel like, out of combat thing.
Yeah. I'll use a different token for if we have to do stuff with it. In terms of like map things, but until I find art and make its own dedicated thing, I'll put it under the pets section in the under your names on the player characters list. Anyway, you guys go and meet up once again with Professor Ariador, and he does the same thing. He doesn't need to draw the chalk outline this time because you have the platform to use. But you are able to teleport yourselves from Imlora Academy directly to Fort Embercross, and from there make your journey into the Wastelands. Now, when you arrive at Fort Embercross, after you feel that familiar tug and pop into existence, you're inside of a kind of a dimly lit stone chamber, guarded by two heavily armored dwarves with big old hammers. You can see that they're wearing essentially big, heavy plate armor, full helmet, full face mask. Looks very intimidating. Who kind of are standing at attention at the door as you arrive. As the professor leads you outside, you can see that you were essentially inside of like an underground chamber. He leads you up the stairs and out through a hatch into the fort proper. Now the fort itself is closer to a city in the way that it's been constructed. There are rows and rows of identical stone buildings, stone buildings, all with tiled roofing. There's plenty of soldiers in armor with various different kinds of weapons milling about. You can see a mixture of human and elven warriors wearing different armor than the dwarven warriors that are also very prevalent at this location. You can see people running drills. You can see squires running back and forth to do errands. You can see people tending to horses and moving carts of weaponry and raw materials and supplies around the fort. This place is always busy. Looking in either direction, in any direction, you can see very high, very looks like extremely well-crafted, difficult to break walls that rise up probably 50 feet high, all of which have different towers interspersed between the walls that have massive ballista, and some of them have mangonels, not crossbows. What do you call it? Catapults. Yeah, they have ballistas, catapults, mangonels, all that fun stuff. Highly defensive area.
Huh? Where'd you find it?
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
I mean, it's made for business.
The professor takes a look at you all and says, "Well, this is where I leave you for the day. I wish you good luck on your journey in finding the headmaster. You'll want to head out of the western gate off that way. The wardens here are aware of your arrival and will be expecting your return upon completion of your duties. As always, good luck. Take care of yourselves."
Before he leaves, Skeggy says, "One more thing. I have a question for you.
All right.
Have you ever heard of an alchemist named Arminius?"
Not my purview, unfortunately. I've never heard of an alchemist named Arminius before. Perhaps Professor Rodriguez would know more. She's the one that deals with the chemistry at the academy.
Good to know.
The one I decided not to visit.
Yes.
Well, we can make a note to... Professor will make a note to ourselves to visit her upon our return. I'm sure Skeggy would have some interesting questions for her.
Very well, then. Good luck. Dreamer's blessings be with all of you. And he walks back down the stairs into the underground bunker, and you are free to begin your excursion into the wastelands.
Awesome.
Well, we gotta get past Fort Embercross first. Skeggy walks up to the dwarven guards and he greets them in dwarven, saying, under God be with you. Hail, brothers. But it sounds
we're at the
like
western gate of Embercross?
You be dog.
Okay.
Jim Bobble Dibble Dobble do.
Wow.
He speaks dwarven.
Yeah.
Like I had to be a little
Hey
racist.
ho, hey ho. It's off to work we go.
Dad.
They respond in kind. A little bit surprised that someone so tall is speaking to them in their native tongue. They say, "We've been anticipating your arrival. Good luck out there. It's, if you've never been, it's quite the inhospitable place." The massive stone gates begin to open through some massive mechanism that you can't quite make out at the moment. And before you, in stark contrast to the heavily wooded areas of the Concord is a barren, rocky badlands. You can see dotting the landscape are rocks and boulders. There is some like scrub brush vegetation that's like barely growing in different parts of at least your immediate surroundings. But for the most part, it is barren and rocky. And you've also noticed as well that it is it's a lot warmer here than it was up in the Concord.
Okay. At least we didn't have to walk all this way.
Yeah. The good thing about consorting with wizards is a lot of them have teleportation stuff that can help you out with.
There's no like check-in process, fucking.
Well, sometimes there is, but for the Academy's purposes, they have kind of free reign to do that kind of stuff, whatever they want. Okay, so you guys are headed from here, here-ish, and you guys are headed up this way. So have about a week's travel. Well, let's see. Yeah, about a week's travel. A little bit more than a week's travel.
Oh, fuck.
To get to your current location.
All right.
So, as before, we will do encounter checks every 2 days.
God, a week? Fuck. Oh, man, we must be carrying a lot of water. Who has create water?
I think Eris has access to create food and water.
We need that shit.
What's it called?
Because,
otherwise, you're gonna have to
walk in wasteland without no fucking water for a week? Good luck.
Well,
yeah, you're gonna have to try and find some, or you're gonna have to just use what you've got and hope and pray.
Don't I have it?
I think
What's it
a
called?
certain druid needs to fucking prepare a certain spell.
Oh my god.
It's a 3rd level spell.
Purify food and drink?
No.
Purify? No, create.
I gotta have that.
Create food and water.
Oh, create or destroy water. I got it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's also a create food spell somewhere in there too.
I think I don't know how many rats we have actually. I know we replenished
I just
them
have
a
purified
certain amount
food
of
or drink.
times. I still have 10 rations, so I'm good.
Where
For a week at least.
I mean, you could do
Maybe
Goodberry.
It might get hairy on the way back, but we'll see.
I'll
Yeah, I'm
prepare.
gonna have to buy some rations, I think.
Goodberry is enough for all of you to eat for the day, and create water can be used to prevent yourselves from dying of thirst.
Oh, perfect.
I have create water, so I'll make sure everybody's can drink.
You do have create water?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then just regular travel
prepared.
rations then. I mean, obviously water skins we all have.
You've also
I don't
got
know.
you've got Goodberries in case Hannah wants to conserve spells, or in case Hannah wants to use a spell and you want to conserve rations. Rather.
Okay.
That's fair.
Fair
We
enough.
need good berries on the way back. On the way there, I think we should all be good.
In any case, who wants to be the first one to roll me a d8?
I do.
Oh. Okay.
Boom,
Hey.
baby.
What do we get? 8?
8 dragons appear in the sky.
All right.
8 dragons.
Yeah, how many
Okay.
dragons appear in the sky?
All right. So on your first, we'll say this is your second day of travel, so we'll go about there. You guys are kind of passing along the bed of a canyon, and it's fairly quiet. You can hear like your steps are like echoing off the walls here, but it's fairly quiet except for like the wind whistling through the canyon, until you hear kind of echoing in the distance. You hear a loud banging sound, rhythmic and constant.
Oh no.
Banging like pounding or banging like metallic?
Go ahead and make me a perception check. Skeggy, you could do this at advantage.
Stone giants are fucking.
The mountains are banging.
Skeggy can roll perception with advantage.
I also would like to roll perception.
Boom!
Because it doesn't matter.
18,
Woo!
7.
Nice.
Kraken's got no idea what's going on, as per usual.
What do my fucking gnome eyes see?
Love to see it.
Is Eris rolling or no?
Yeah, I want to.
Perception.
Right.
Whenever I roll low in perception, I always chalk it up to fucking like my helmet.
Yeah,
You know?
hell, this is not
But
good.
whenever I roll high, I'm like, dude, fucking, I could see for miles.
Belamir and Skeggy, the sound is reminiscent of metal being beaten, but but much louder and of a deeper timbre than any blacksmith shop that you've heard, just out in your travels.
Is it like any blacksmith shop that I've heard?
I mean, it's like a lot of blacksmith shops that you've heard, just off in the distance, or like when
We're right
walking through
outside the
town, you
walls
can hear
of
the
the-
clanking of metal. But it's a deeper sound. It's not like the high pitched ping of metal on metal. It's like a deeper pitched ping.
It's big pieces of metal.
Yeah.
Well, but we're so close to the fort, I can't imagine, there'd be any sort of... I don't know.
That's what we hear. We don't see anything.
You don't see anything yet.
What direction is this coming from? Is it coming from where's my fucking little measure?
It's hard to tell. Even with a 20, it's hard to tell. Because the noise bounces off the walls of this canyon. It's hard to get a direction on it.
But it's not a natural sound. Something's
No.
causing this sound.
No.
That's what we know.
It is rhythmic metallic pounding.
Okay, got it.
Skeggy says, sound like someone's pounding metal, but metal way bigger than anyone I know can handle.
Let's keep our wits about us, folks. We're still close to the fort. This could be some mining camp or something.
Or something worse.
Or something.
Okay, well, I guess we'll continue.
Wait. Sorry. Where's the fucking... I want to see if my little fucking homunculus can do it. No, he can't really. Can I send him...
Hey,
Can I send him
go find out what that thing is.
fly up really high and like
Poor
scout
thing has
the area?
PTSD.
He's got a fly speed of 30.
Can he do anything? I don't know what he can do.
I mean, he can roll a perception check.
He can attack
He's got a 10 wisdom, so it's not very good.
My question is,
but-
can he talk with you? He understands the languages you speak, but he doesn't speak himself.
Well, you'd have to come back to report.
Yeah. So you send your little bat up, your little mechanical bat, and you hear like a little clockwork whirring as it starts up and comes to life. You see it flap its little wings and fly up about 30 feet in the air. It flies kind of like in a little circle around your head for a little bit, and then flies down to you and points its little bat wing in a north right-early direction. I don't know, fucking in front of you to the right,
Northwest.
in front of you to your right, up the canyon wall.
Okay. Let's try and go as far south as we can away from this noise. Sounds like it's coming from on top of the canyon, so we might not run it.
Sure enough, as you guys continue to walk down the canyon, the rhythmic banging gets louder as you kind of draw closer to it, and eventually you can see this canyon is it's not very wide, so you kind of have like one track to go on here. So up on the top, up on kind of like a secondary cliff face, up on the top right, you can see a fissure in the stone that a column of smoke is lazily pouring out of.
Okay. Deggy, any thoughts on what we're dealing with here?
Could I
Or crackle?
roll for that, Garrett?
No, Crackle has no idea.
Should I roll for that, or should I improvise?
Roll for what?
What it could be.
Knowing something.
I would say just roll an intelligence check.
I mean, could we just walk by this thing and ignore it and just keep going?
You could, but
I mean,
it's up to you.
But you
25.
won't.
Not a save.
Oh, sorry.
Check.
I just thought intelligence.
Okay.
Okay.
Intelligence. There goes
21.
oh,
He's a fine.
come on.
So,
He's a smart cookie.
yeah. The fissure itself, at least this one that you can see, is not very big. But I mean, you're looking at something that's like not big enough for even you to fit in. So it's likely not the entrance to wherever you are like hearing this noise from. Best you can guess is it's a chimney.
Skeggy says, from what I heard, the Dwergar's operation base is far in the wastelands. They often utilize cracks in the ground, chimney fires. This could be danger deep underground. Whatever they're forging, it ain't good.
But so close to the fort.
just a
It doesn't make
hunch.
sense.
The Dwergar are crafty and hard to find. But we won't know till
I
we
say
set
we
eyes.
walk in and kill him.
We need to find the entrance first, and that's likely hidden well. This is just a smokestack, easily disguised volcanic activity. Except for the banging. That kind of gives it away.
Is this going to help us find the headmaster? Or do you think we need to figure out what this sound is right now?
We should figure it out.
It may warrant investigation. If only for the fort's sake. Who knows? Maybe the Dwergar are planning a siege.
That's a good point. All right. Let's find out what it is. We don't have to engage if we don't want to. Let's try and see what it is first and see if it warrants a warning to the fort.
Can I send my little bat guy down the crevice?
Was he a tiny creature? Yeah, he's a tiny construct. Yeah. So yeah, you can.
I'll send my little friend. He whispers to the I have yet to name it.
Bubo.
Bubo!
It's Bobu.
Boo.
It's Bobu the
Boobat.
bat.
Boobat.
Boobat. Is he a bat? He's a mechanical
He's
bat?
a mechanical
Little
bat.
mechanical bat.
Then he's the Boobat.
He's the Boobat.
Fantastic.
All right.
I mean, you can
Go,
send him.
Boobat. Go.
They can't
so
communicate with you.
Well, not now.
So what is his objective?
So I'm gonna tell him, fly down there and see what you can see and report back. Do not engage. Stay at least 30 feet away from everything you see down.
Okay.
Any creature.
Okay. It takes off and flaps his little wings and kind of flaps up to the entrance and then lands on the rock face and kind of crawls in on the side of the wall.
Go, Boobat, go! I knew summoning him was a good idea.
Takes about 5 minutes for him to come back,
Dang.
and he flies back and just lands in the palm of your hand.
Oh, that's right. He can't tell us.
Nope.
Well, wait to see. And I say to Boobat, "What's down there, boy?"
It kind of does a little mechanical click in response. That's about it. That's all he can.
Wow.
He can't talk to you, and you can't see through his eyes. So only he knows. Only Boobat knows the mysteries of the cavern.
Intelligence 21. Everybody.
God damn it!
Oh, Boobat.
Oh,
You
boo
silly guy.
Did Boobat fail?
Okay.
No, he succeeded, but he has no way of telling you anything. So,
Well, let's wait. Let's ask him yes or no questions. Shake your head if it's no, and if it's yes, nod your head. Were there any Dwergar down?
shakes his head no.
Were there any creatures down there?
Shakes his head yes.
Shakes.
Were they bigger than me?
Shakes his head yes.
Oh shit.
Oh,
I love this yes or no. Let's play 20 questions with the mechanical bat.
20 questions with
were
Boobat.
they,
This is what
were
this
they,
episode's going to be called.
were they
You
giants?
think we can take him?
Does he know what a giant is?
Yeah, I mean, he would know. It's a homunculus that's created by Skeggy. He nods his head yes.
Okay. Ooh.
You think we can
There are
take
giants
him?
down there.
Yes.
Were there fire giants?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay. No, thank you.
this doesn't bode well.
Fireball doesn't go good with fire giants.
Let me get out my
Nope.
snowballs.
Get your fucking frost spells out. Bet you wish
Yeah.
Gorathon was here.
Yep. Fireball ain't gonna do shit.
Corathon! Alright, take Corathon.
Were they
My
making
friends, I don't think we need to
weapons?
engage these creatures right now.
Nods his head
No
yes.
There's
shit,
probably
boy.
hosts of these creatures scattered throughout the wastelands.
I asked Boobat if they were making weapons.
Yes.
Fuck, dude.
We can't
Okay.
be expected to confront an entire camp of fire giants making weapons. We can tell the fort, if you'd
I
like.
was
We can
gonna say-
backtrack and tell the fort.
I'll send Boobat with a message on his ankle saying that
Yeah.
there's fucking fire giant activity, but we should probably be on our way.
Yeah. I don't want to. There's no
But-
need.
oh.
There's no need to be in there.
But Skeggy loves giants. He wants to know.
Well,
What do I know about the temperament of fire giants? What do we know about fire
Are they
giants?
automatically enemies or what?
Roll a history check, I guess.
All right, I'll roll a history check.
I'll also.
I'll roll a history check, but I don't know that I don't know that I would know. Oh, of course I know
Oh.
everything. I know everything there is to know about fire
You're a
giants.
wizard. If knowing things is your fucking thing.
It kind of is, although I have no experience with fire
Special
giants.
interest.
Or maybe I do. I doubt it. Okay. 'Cause
So-
he's
History tells you that fire giants are like some of the biggest assholes in the giant community.
God damn it.
They're not friendly at all. They are generally hostile, and they don't like people invading their territory. And they, even though they're one of the lower rungs on the ordning, they are, which is like the hierarchy for giants. They are some of the most like aggressive giants that you could potentially meet. Most of them after the war were kind of relegated to the bottom left corner of the map. They kind of have their own island, the island of Talnaron. If you go down to the bottom left of the map there, that's kind
Okay.
of their little fire giant nation, if you will. There are some
What are
giants.
they doing out here?
There are some giants that live in the wastelands, but not many. They sometimes will make excursions into the wastelands, or they have camps set up in the wastelands closer to the volcano, typically, where they can get better resources, and they can do their own mining of gems and ores and stuff.
Well, you said they were making weapons.
Yes.
Not necessarily. I was gonna say maybe they're just mining.
So with
Nope.
with that said, this
think we need to
giant
call
being
him-
so close to Fort Ambercross, number one, and number two, forging weapons of some kind
wait.
is a red flag to you.
Hold on. Let me ask Boobat.
Wait. I have to suggest Batbot.
Batbot. Well, I don't think. Do we have
Like
the
Boobat.
concept of
Boobat,
being a robot?
Boobat is cuter though.
Yes, you have the concept.
Boobat.
of
He's Batbot.
Oh, cute.
robots
Is
are
he Boobat?
We don't have robots out here. They're constructs.
Not on this continent. There are robots elsewhere.
Okay.
Beep boop bot.
Boobat.
Boobat. I want to ask Boobat. Were there more than 10 giants down there?
Shakes his head no.
More than.
Were there more than 5 giants down there?
Shakes his head no.
Was there only 1 giant down there?
Shakes his head yes.
Shakes his head yes.
Yeah. Nods, whatever. Answer is
That
yes.
changes things. We've taken on a giant before. Perhaps we can find out what it was and stop this siege before it happens.
We don't know that they're planning a
With the
siege.
professor.
That whatever he's doing isn't our business.
He's
Yeah, I
making
don't-
weapons, and that's
Well, he
really
has stuff to steal, and that's what I'm here for.
You know what? If Fort Embercross wants to pay us to find out what weapons the fire giants are making and why, they're welcome to do so. But we're not getting paid to find out what the fire giants are doing.
All I know is that fire giants are some of the best smiths in the world, and I can't let this opportunity to meet one slip up.
You can't walk past this without figuring out what's going on. We can't just walk away. If you're telling me we can't walk away,
We've already walked past one cool encounter that Garrett set up. We're not going to do it again.
I mean, the dreamer, right?
all right, Kegi, if this is something you have to do, then let's do it because I need you focused on finding the headmaster.
I want to combat.
I think
Oh,
Skeggy's, in all seriousness, Skeggy's like curiosity about giants is kind of getting the better of him in this moment. He would really like to meet a giant in the context that he doesn't have to cut its head off.
I mean, if there's a
Necessarily.
reasonable chance of at least some kind of exchange of information that doesn't result in bloodshed, then
I mean,
Belamir will endure Skeggy's curiosity if it means that Skeggy will be focused now on the rest of the quest after he has to talk to this fire giant.
he's just really curious, and he's looking for gems. And who knows who this individual is? Maybe they're nice. There's only one.
Well, maybe he's seen the headmaster. That's Belamir's angle.
Maybe. He
Well-
might know more about this area than we do. Maybe he could lead
I'm
us.
sure he would.
Maybe
All
he
right,
could lead
then,
us. or help
Skeggy,
us.
if this is something you have to do, then let's do it so we can move on.
All right. Skeggy wants to find the entrance.
Okay.
Let's do it then.
Could I get Boobat to like fly down there, find the entrance?
I love Boobat already.
Yes, you can.
I know. I can? Sweet. Boobat, we need you to find the entrance to this place. Let's do it. Go.
He he flaps up and goes
Belamir
through
and
the crack
Boobat
again.
bandits.
The Boobat Bandits, yes.
He flies up and goes through the crack again, and then in like less than 2 minutes, you can see him flapping from around a corner, like around the bend, and flying toward you.
Let's head towards him.
Okay.
God, I wish I spoke Giantish.
He leads you.
Does anyone speak Giantish?
I don't.
Do I?
I think Eris
I don't even
does.
know what I.
I do. I speak giant.
Oh,
Do you?
okay.
Well,
I don't know what I
Yeah,
speak.
you're gonna be our fucking liaison.
Okay.
so
Ooh, I speak Draconic.
Hey, little guy.
That could come in handy on this mission.
That might piss him off.
I know.
not on this
I'm not talking
particular
to him.
mission.
Skeggy, you're the one closest
Daniel.
to his frame of mind, so I think it should be you talking to him.
I also speak Dwarvish
Skeggy's our
and Draconic.
liaison to this fire giant guy.
What? Crackle? Or sorry,
I
Grant?
was gonna say, I just realized I also speak Dwarvish and Draconic. Forgot
Oh,
about
okay.
that.
Yeah, I
I
speak
guess
Dwarvish.
wizards would speak Draconic just generally, maybe?
Well,
Draconic.
I speak Draconic because I
There
grew
are
up.
there are different scripts that are used in Magic. Elvish and Draconic being the two most prevalent. They are the languages of Magic. Outside of like outsider languages like Sylvan and Elemental stuff.
Got it.
I do just want to say I want Skeggy to like learn Giantish over the course of our downtime that we have, whenever we have it.
It's up to you to decide.
How we have someone who speaks it.
Oh, fair enough.
You can translate for y'all.
Yeah, if we could work something, however long.
There's a downtime activity for getting new proficiencies. It requires time and money to do, so keep that in mind.
Got it. Okay, so Boobat leads us to the entrance. What does it look like?
So the entrance is it's right around the corner from where you guys were at. If you guys had walked another 5 minutes, you would have seen the larger 15-foot carved rectangular entrance to wherever this is. You kind of have to climb up the cliff to get there, so I'm going to need a round of athletics checks from people.
Oh, okay.
Unless you have some means to fly.
I do not. What checks? Athletics?
Athletics checks.
Oh!
Not
Crackle's not good
myself
at athletics.
up.
This
Easy.
is not my fortitude.
We're going to call it a group athletics.
This could be a 1.
It's literally a 1. Not the greatest athletics people on this team.
Well, if Eris makes it up, she can tie a rope, right?
She can tie a rope, yeah. The rest of you are unable to find any purchase. Eris...
This is not...
Eris does a backflip up all of the rocks.
Eris is like a Skyrim horse. She just kind of
just
goes her way up there. Yeah, mashing jump over and over again.
She has hoofed feet like a goat. She should be able to climb.
Yeah. So Eris, at the very least, as long as one of you passes, you have rope that you can use to help the others climb.
And then Skeggy is climbing the rope with everyone like hanging onto him like fucking Princess Bride.
Sure.
I throw my rope down there and I pull everybody up.
Well, like Skeggy's very heavy, so he'll have to do that.
I tie the rope to a rock.
The cliffs of madness.
The cliff
that was
of
really
bad. All right. So, I'll go ahead and put you on this map. So, as you guys kind of walk into the entrance cautiously, you can see inside a massive. First of all, the heat is so incredibly oppressive here. From the massive forge that has been set up in this cavern space. It is a fairly large cavern, but it's definitely it's cramped enough for a giant, quote unquote. You can see a massive anvil off to the corner. You see a large, a gigantic table made of tree trunks that have been lashed together. That has a number of extremely large, heavy tools on them. You see a big grinding wheel, stone grinding wheel in the corner, and a number of highly sophisticated mechanical piping and clockwork that is piping lava from a pool on the far end of the chamber into the forge to heat it. As this massive gray-skinned, bright red-haired individual standing, upwards of 15, 20 feet tall, is hammering away at a glowing hot blade with his bare hands. That he's holding it with his bare hands. He's hammering it with a hammer.
Eris, how do I say "Hail, Forge Master" in Giantish?
I tell him.
Okay.
Bron
Sweet.
Giga Wook.
Bron Giga Wook.
Yep.
Skeggy kind of walks into the room and he says, "Bron Giga Wook."
Okay.
I think you just called him an asshole.
The hammering, you have to kind of wait for a pause in the smithing, because the noise of him hammering this massive blade is so loud. So you wait for a pause and then call out to him, and you watch him kind of go for another swing and pause real quick, like hammer held up high in one thing, and then look over his shoulder, and you can see this massive red beard, eyes as he turns to face you. He's wearing basically nothing but a big loincloth essentially made it like chainmail and like really like kind of heavy metal plates stitched together.
What was the entrance like hidden?
No, not at all.
Like
it's a big
okay.
it's a big 15-foot tall, like 15-foot wide, like 20 feet tall, 15-foot wide rectangle cut into the rock. It's not hidden at all.
Did we find any like bone piles or thing like that?
No.
On our way in? No. Okay. No.
He turns to face and
All
he
right,
sees the four of you, and he kind of cocks an eyebrow. And then in giant Eris, you can understand him speaking and saying, "Who is it that invades my forge?"
He's asking who we are.
Door was open there, genius.
Oh,
Skeggy tells Eris, tell him another.
You cut out. What was that?
Uh-oh.
You cut out. You cut out. I don't know what
Daniel's
you said.
gone.
Oh, not just me. Okay.
He might have to reconnect. He's not gone on my end, but
It's very important.
It's
I want to.
Huh?
Can you hear me now?
Okay,
Yeah.
There you are.
All right, so Skeggy tells her, tell him another who has mastered the forge.
Okay. I say, Bragubash Naka Raka Raka.
Okay.
And Skeggy exits his armor with his smithing tools in hand, and he gestures to the armor. And that, yeah.
He kind of looks out at the armor and at yourself. Seeing that you have at least disarmed yourself of your armor, he is not in any inclination to attack at the moment. He just kind of wants to know why you're standing in his doorway.
Yeah.
He puts the blade that he's holding back into the forge to reheat, and takes a couple of steps forward. What is your purpose here?
He's asking what we're doing here.
Purpose here. Sorry, have you guys seen Nosferatu?
No.
No.
Not yet.
I'm imagining him talking like the Nosferatu.
What is your purpose here?
God, it sucks to be translated for. What is our purpose here, guys? Should we tell him?
Well, it's your thing, Skeggy.
Okay.
Well,
Skeggy.
you know what our purpose is, but why else do you want to talk to him?
Skeggy says to Eris, explain to him that I do not speak Giantish, but I know of their work and have been a lifelong admirer. Flatter his ass.
I tell him, my friend here is very, what?
Charisma check.
My friend here is very interested in your craft and has admired your kind for his entire life and would really like to meet you.
As you're talking to this, as Crackle is kind of sneaking around the perimeter of the room there, the giant looks sharply over to his left, takes his fist into the lava on the back, inside of the forge, and hucks a ball of fire over and smashes it against this wall.
Oh, fuck.
Against what wall?
Against the wall over here.
Oh.
The southern wall, right in front of where Crackle's standing.
Oh, so he doesn't
Crackle stops moving immediately.
Just please let us talk to him. I forgot he's not in his armor anymore.
The giant looks to you and says, "No touching."
We don't
He
come to
says not to
steal.
touch his shit, Crackle.
Tell him we didn't come to steal. We have plenty of material ourselves.
I tell him, we're not here to take anything. My friend here has never seen a forge this big. He was just looking around.
looking at this anvil, it's 3 times
I
my
mean, that's-
size.
Yeah, look at him. He is 2 feet tall. He's not going to steal anything.
It's an utterly sus thing to do, though. We're in this guy's
It is.
domain.
Oh, I know. I know what I was doing.
Okay.
The little ones always come to steal.
Oh fuck yeah, he's probably dealt with kobolds before.
Kobolds before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shit. Crackle.
No, I know what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
I know the implications.
We look. Let's make this guy a friend, an ally,
Please.
if we can. What do fire giants like to hear?
Did you
Your
tell?
hair looks very flamey today.
No, did you tell him that?
Did you see the art I posted?
Yeah.
Did you tell him that we? Skeggy says, "Tell him that we've only ever heard of the masters of the fire giants in terms of smithing before, but we've never seen it, and we all appreciate the magnificence of your work."
I tell him that we are very interested in your way of work, as it has been very admirable for my
Skeggy.
friend's kind.
Skeggy like shows him his smithing tools, and is very like earnestly excited to be talking to the giant.
He's like giving you a wary eye now. Crackle's still on the other side of the room.
I just stopped moving. I'm just standing here now.
Skeggy beckons to Crackle like, get you took us over here.
He looks at you and says, "Keep your lizard on its leash."
He says that Crackle should be close to us.
Skeggy hugs
You're
Crackle.
Really
lucky
likes Crackle.
Crackle doesn't know what he said. He's lucky.
Yeah.
If you have
hugs
business
Crackle
with
and
me to discuss, then speak it. Otherwise, leave me to my forge.
He says if you have business with him,
Oh.
to tell him right now. Otherwise, to leave him alone because he.
I have one
really...
job on this ship, and by God, I'm going to do it.
It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it.
I need to watch Galaxy Quest again.
Skeggy tells Eris, just tell him we're actually in this land to search for a missing professor, and we heard him working and were just curious to watch a master in action.
I tell him exactly that.
Okay. My forge is not entertainment.
He says Forge is not is not for entertainment. And there's ominous music now.
Oh no.
It's been
He
that
does
way.
not
I
want
haven't
us here,
changed the music.
everybody. He really just wants to keep working on his tools and his weapons.
Skeggy tells Eris, tell him that it may not be entertainment, but to another admirer of the forge craft, one can learn much from watching.
I tell him that my friend does not want it to be entertainment, but he wants to be a temporary apprentice. To learn your craft.
I'm going to mutter to Eris, since we're standing together. I'm going to lean over and whisper out of the side of my mouth, we don't have time for this.
My talents are
I
wasted on
shrug.
one as small as you. Be gone from this place.
Yeah, let's be gone. All right.
Leave me to
Great
my
job,
work.
everybody.
He doesn't have time, Skeggy, to teach you about the forge. But
maybe
he
when we're
said it
done.
was really nice to meet you and that we should be on our merry way.
Maybe when we're done finding the thing that we're going to get paid for.
Can we ask him?
Skeggy could leave a gem
Could I
as a gesture of good faith.
could I offer him? Could I show him something that I know that maybe he doesn't know? Could I what could I do? What spell
Maybe
could
some
I
kind of
cast?
juggling trick or
I'm just trying to think.
maybe a dance move?
Do some breakdancing, like
Dancing or a dirty limerick?
No, you know, like. I hate not being able to like communicate with him directly.
But what are you? Are you trying to?
I mean, you know.
Tell him
What?
perhaps I may show him a thing or two of my craft as well.
I tell him that my friend wants to show him his own skills and from his craft.
With that, the giant kind of chuckles a little bit. It says, "You think you have something to teach me?"
He says he doesn't believe you have something to teach him.
Skeggy then kind of like looks at the giant and then looks at his armor and then kind of gets back into the armor and puts his arms up in the air and he makes fists with his hands and then the gemstones upon his gauntlets glow and he clashes both of his wrists together above his head to create a giant clap of thunder that reverberates in the cavern.
You see a little, like, pile of dust, like, falls on his shoulder and he brushes it off. A cute party trick.
He says that was a cute party
He's
trick.
not impressed.
You get the sense that your armor is more magical in nature, and he is a smith through and through. He believes in the
Does he not
power
see
of
that
steel.
it's made of? Does he not see that it's made of like fucking mithril?
If he does, it doesn't seem like he's interested or cares all that much. You also, I mean, putting together the pieces here, giants mine the volcano for rare shit all the time. It's likely they have a good amount of mithril already.
Probably.
Can I ask him if he has seen a yay high professor?
An expedition of students, perhaps.
Yeah.
Skeggy looks dejected, and kind of gets back out of his armor, and he goes, "Well, go ahead, just ask him about the professor."
That's what I do.
You ask about the professor. He says, "It has been many weeks since the other small folk visited me."
What?
Oh, he says that it's been weeks since they visited him.
What was their
Sure.
purpose here?
He knew to leave me to my work,
Oh,
but he has
yeah.
discussed business with me in the past.
Oh,
If you are not here to do business, then I have no interest in talking to you.
ask him what business he's talking about.
Business, but he's not interested in anything else from us. So.
I'm interested in doing business.
What kind of his name? Headmaster Saboris?
Silbrennis.
What is it?
Headmaster Silbrennis.
Silbrennis. Okay. Boy, did I get that wrong.
I have his first name too somewhere.
Okay, I'll take a step forward and say, Forge Master, we seek Headmaster Silbrennis. Is that who you mean? From the Imlor Academy. He disappeared in the Wastelands, and we're looking to find out what happened to him. Is that who you mean?
That was his name. Or so much as he told me. He discussed matters relating to the elementals that roam the lands outside of my forge.
He was seeking them?
He wanted to know more about them. All I care about them is that they are fuel for my fires.
Cool.
Fuel?
Fuel.
Skeggy, what does that mean? Fuel for the fire. Does he capture fire elementals and squish them into his fire?
Skeggy geeks out for a second. Fire giants, they use the elemental power to pump rapid into the forge. It imbues a magic into their metalwork. It's something else. I believe you meet what this is actually super cool.
Okay, so he doesn't really care what the small people do.
Not really.
He
No.
doesn't care about the fire elementals. He's obviously can control them or kick their ass or enslave them in his forge, maybe. Okay.
Skeggy asks, "What business is it that you do?"
I forge weapons from the iron and steel I make in this mountain. And I give them to my brethren when they ask.
Good to know. What business did this professor have with you?
He already told you.
What? What did he say?
He said the professor was asking him about the elementals. That's all the professor
Yeah.
was.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
So he's after elementals.
The professor was inquiring about the elementals that,
Did you?
that he
I'm gonna
may
ask
have run across.
I'm gonna ask if he knew where the professor could have gone
Right. Ask him that.
to search for the elementals.
I did not ask.
Yeah.
And he did
Okay.
not offer.
He's a fountain of information. Okay. Skeggy, what do we need to do here?
Just let me ask about the crystals.
My friend wants to ask about the crystal.
Okay. By all means, ask about the crystals.
Ask about the crystals. It's such a D&D thing.
Skeggy says, "Tell him I want to know about the elemental crystals of fire that they put into their weapons as gilding, and where I might be able to find some for my armor."
I ask him that.
Legit question.
He points to the entrance and says, "Go out there and kill some. Eventually you'll have enough."
He says to kill some until you have enough.
Fair enough.
As
Tell
far
him
as
his whip-
as far as Belamir's question about the weapons, he picks up the blade from his forge and stabs it into the ground. It's a 10-foot high, like 5-foot wide, massive steel blade, and says, "You're welcome to try."
Okay. I'm just wondering if Skeggy's armor could handle a weapon, or is it more magical?
no.
Is it worth it? Yeah.
No.
That's all I'm thinking. Okay. So he's
It
making
doesn't-
weapons for large people. He's making weapons for other
Giants.
giants. He's not making weapons for humans.
No, absolutely not.
So whatever he's making the weapons for, though, he's not making it on spec.
Are there-
chances are they're being used.
Are there like more weapons in this place, or
Oh yeah.
are the only ones there are the ones he's working on?
He's got 2 blades working in the forge right now. He's got 2 quenching in this massive tub of water down here.
That's it.
Yeah. At the
Yeah.
moment.
Okay.
I mean,
So he's
Yeah,
got
okay.
4. He's got 4 massive metal blades that he's been working on. It looks like.
Skeggy says to Eris, "One last thing. Ask him that I would like the privilege of knowing such a the name of such a master."
I ask him that.
Man, fuck. Hold on.
What
name?
might we call you?
He says, "You may call me Kazur."
Kazur.
Very well, Kazur. You may see us again, but please note us as not a threat and potential friends next time you see us.
Should you
Would you tell him
interrupt
that?
my forge again, our next meeting will not be pleasant.
He says unlikely, Skeggy.
Come with business, or leave me be.
Okay.
He wants to come with business
Yep.
next time.
Good to meet you.
Fuck.
Nice to talk to you.
Sayonara.
But wait. What do you value? What business would you like us to do for you? What can we do for you?
He's asking what business would he like.
I need my forge to retain its heat.
He wants us to get out fire
And I
elemental
need-
first.
And I need coals.
Oh, he wants coals.
If you
Okay.
can bring enough, I can provide a service.
Oh yeah, that's
So
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say so, big boss?
Growls at you.
Skeggy gets back in his armor and he says, "Do not worry. We will be back with your coals."
Are you gonna cast fireball on his forge?
No, I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Okay. Just wondering.
I just wanted to see who would read it and react to it.
Okay.
No, Belamir is obviously not going to do anything to anger a frost giant. He doesn't really know
Fire
that
giant?
much about. He's never dealt with frost giants before. Not frost giant, fire giant.
Skeggy puts a
Belamir's
fist
like,
over
have
his
you tried
heart.
fireball?
Skeggy puts a fist over his heart and a clap of thunder sounds, and then he bows to the giant and then goes to make his exit.
Okay. Fantastic. You know, if we do come up with some sort of essence of fire elemental and can contain it in something, we could we could bring it back to him and say, here you go. But he doesn't have anything that we need. None of us can use the weapons he's making. The reason he's making them doesn't seem directly related to what we're doing right now. So he has nothing for sale.
At least he's
So-
found, he knows about the professor and where
Yeah.
he's...
He knows about the professor who was asking about the elemental activity, but that's really, he doesn't care about the elementals other than they fire his forge. So
So do you think that means we need to kill fire elementals to bring back to him?
well,
he
we
wants
could.
coal,
He'd probably maybe he could pay us for it. It'd be worth.
Well, he said he will. He said he'll offer us a service.
Sure.
I think
Okay.
whatever service he can give us would be highly valuable.
After we discover what happened to the headmaster,
Correct.
there's nothing that he can give us right now. I know Skeggy. He's very impressive. I'm impressed with him. He's kind of scary, and he's working his business at this.
He's so
fantastic forge, but
cool. He's so
It
cool.
is so cool, but there is nothing that he can give us right now to help us find the headmaster. We've got to do that on our own.
Well,
if we
he
do-
gave us.
If we do find essence of elemental power out there, we can hopefully contain it.
At least he
You
gave
can,
us a
you
clue.
can keep it and bring it back to him, and whatever you want to learn, maybe you can exchange it for knowledge. But he can't help us right now find the headmaster. We need to continue on our road into the wastelands.
I think so. Let us continue.
All right. So, departing the fire giant's forge. Go back to the world map here. There we go. Departing the fire giant's forge and
The file giant
the file giant. Yes, massive.
has a pencil behind his ear,
filing cabinet.
got some manila folders.
Go ahead and roll me the next d8, please.
I'll wait. Skeggy's sort of our roller, a designated roller, isn't he?
Oh, can I do it?
Yeah,
Anybody
if
can
you
do
want
it.
to, you can.
I'm not going to do it. You guys do it. 3.
3.
3 dragons appear overhead.
Cool. So, this is on your 4th day of travel. You are looking for a place to kind of bed down for the day. The day is getting like later in the day. The sun's beginning to set, and the heat of the day is beginning to subside. And you hear over an adjacent ridge, you hear like little voices cackling to themselves. You just hear often just
Sounds like a crackle.
Fireball.
Oh my god, Dad.
Sounds like a job
Just kidding.
Sounds like a job for Boobat.
Well, yes, perhaps.
Go play 20 questions.
Crackle.
and
I
do that
mean,
again.
there's some like cackling going on. A group of cackling voices.
It sounds like two or three voices potentially,
Okay.
kind of like cackling to themselves, and you hear kind of like in between the laughter, like the sound of like roaring fire.
Roaring fire.
Mm-hmm.
No smoke anywhere?
There is a column of smoke that is rising from beyond the ridge, but the source of it you can't see at the moment.
Okay.
Does anybody know Ignan or Primordial?
No.
Oh no.
No.
I know what these are now.
No.
Fuck.
I never paid attention in my primordial language classes.
Nope.
Up to you. What do you want to do?
Look like. I guess we just continue on our way.
Send the Boobat.
All right, I'll send Boobat up about maybe 60 feet in the air to kind of scope it out, and then fly back down for me for questioning.
Okay, you do so.
I like that we found out a system to get information out of Boobat.
Play 20 questions with Boobat.
We just play 20 questions with Boobat.
I imagine this little bat construct just looking up at you with big anime eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Listening to your every word. And are there creatures over there?
I'm like feeding him, like I have like a little baby bottle full of oil that he.
Right. You have like little tiny nuts, metal nuts that you have in a Ziploc baggie, like goldfish.
I love that. This episode should be called Belamir and the Boobat Bandits.
It
Like
should
that.
be called Belamir and the Boobat Bandits.
This is going to be sort of entering the wastelands or something like that. More mysterious.
Yeah.
Garrett's gonna call it
Into
something
the
like that. And I'm gonna comment under the video, Belamir and the Boobat Bandits.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah, what
okay,
does
look,
Boobat see?
we could be asking for trouble if we find out what this cackling voices are. It could be something that we could handle, but it could be information that we need. We're kind of getting close to where the headmaster was last seen, and if we're seen by these creatures and we don't know it, they could send word. I think we need to find out whether these creatures
We need
are
a
a threat
scout.
to us,
We need
or
Boobat.
for all we know, they're feasting on the body of the headmaster. We have to make sure.
Boobat flies up in the air and then sees what, and then flies back.
Yep.
Boobat alights onto Skeggy's armored finger.
It's kind of hanging upside down.
Says, he's hanging upside down. And Skeggy says, "Were there any creatures out there other than us?"
It's actually a good question. Hold on. Give me a second and I'll nod or...
I know how to ask him.
I know, but I don't know if he noticed anything is the question.
Oh,
Go ahead and make
yeah.
me a perception check for Boobat, actually.
Okay. Here, let me.
But we heard the cackling
So
voices,
I'll
right?
do. I'll
Yes.
just do a D20 since he's got a +0.
7. He shakes his head no.
Looks like all's well, but I don't really trust him. Boobat, are you really... Do you see nothing out there?
Nods yes. He saw nothing.
Okay.
Fly again, check again.
Fly lower to the ground this time.
Okay.
Fly like 30 feet. Just... I need you to bring something back.
Okay.
10, a 10.
Sure. He flies back. He flies back again.
Boobat, same question.
Nods his head yes, there were creatures.
Okay. See, you need to be more perceptive. Okay. Were they... Did they look like little, long-nosed humanoids with wings?
Did they look like Crackle?
Kind of shrugs his shoulders.
His little bat
Did
shoulders.
Shoulders.
Were they... Could they see us?
Nods yes.
Okay, alright. Prepare for an ambush, everyone.
What could we do to prepare for an ambush?
I mean,
Get our weapons ready.
nothing has
and then end
nothing
the
has come up
episode?
over the ridge yet.
No, not yet. Skaggy activates his little temporary hit point shield thing that he can do as a bonus action. That gives him 6 temporary hit points
Crackle fills his healing flask.
as he's walking along.
Okay.
Little blue bat, there he is. He's got to be cuter than that.
That was the cutest one I found.
It's still pretty.
Party City Halloween decoration.
It does look like a party silly at City Halloween.
It is. It's got a speaker in his chest.
What about
Brazil.
this one?
Okay.
What about this one?
Oh God. Jesus.
That looks like a shitty AI image.
Well,
Finished.
I don't know. Trying to
Or
find
maybe
something
it's
with
a normal image that wasn't finished. Anyway,
Yeah, no.
Prepare for an ambush, everyone.
so as when Skeggy says that, I mean, we're gonna continue walking, or Skeggy's gonna continue walking, but he's gonna activate his little shield, as he said, and he his fists are curled and balls ready to fucking lash out
Shit.
at anyone.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh,
Shit. I accidentally unplugged my microphone, so I didn't get the last 30 seconds.
son of a.
Or my headphones, rather. You're preparing your temporary hit points.
one job. Yep.
Are any of you going to try and figure out what's on the other side of the ridge?
I don't want to
I'll
go up
be
there.
perceptive.
We do, but we do.
I kind of just want to trigger whatever their ambush is, but just be ready for
Wait,
it.
how do we know they're ambushing us?
You don't.
You
don't.
don't. Daniel's
It's just Skeggy's hunch.
The question was, can they see us? And the answer was yes. So,
Okay.
Well, Skeggy. I mean, I
They're,
assume you guys
watching.
heard the question and saw Boobat's answer.
Do you guys want to keep going, or do you want to, I don't know, surrender or something?
I'm just gonna prepare for battle.
Well, they
I'm not
see
going-
us,
I'm
but we
not-
don't
I'm
know
not
that they're
gonna
planning an ambush.
surrender. I don't know who
I
they
say
are.
just continue on until we're harassed,
Probably.
and then lay down the fucking beat down on them.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think Belamir would want to know whether they have the headmaster.
Oh, fair enough.
And
Yeah.
if they don't, then we can move on. But we're here to find the headmaster, and if they have him for some reason, because we're getting close to where he was last seen.
Skeggy asks Boobat,
Are they up the ridge to our left?
where you heard the cackling, yes. Nods yes.
Are they up the ridge to our right too?
Shakes head no.
They're on the left, Belamir. Go get them.
So I would have to climb up over a hill to see where they're
Yeah.
coming, where they are.
It's essentially it's like the lip of a ridge. You just
Right.
can climb up. It doesn't take anything to get over there. You can just walk up. But I'm more concerned how are you approaching this?
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I think if we all march to the top of the ridge and show up as an entire group, we might have a little bit of advantage in the shock of seeing us there.
if
And we can at least.
but they can see us. If they attack us when they have the high ground, that might be an advantage on their part.
Well, they
might
can
roll
see us, but we can't see them. I don't know how that was supposed to
Are
work.
they trying to roll some big rocks down on us, Boobat?
You should maybe take a look at the lay of the land and figure it out.
So we're between like two ridges. We're in like a little valley of dirt.
You are okay. So you're walking kind of along a flat like land, except for on your left hand side there's a small ridge, a small hill.
Okay.
It's like you are on the top portion, and the ridge, if you go to the edge of it, you will look down on something. So you guys have the high ground right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean,
Well, why don't we just go look?
I think if we all march to the lip of the ridge as a group, we'll know immediately whether we're outnumbered, whether they have something of the headmasters, or whether we can recognize whatever it is.
Just be
I don't
ready
know.
for an attack.
I don't want to reveal ourselves, but it doesn't seem like there's any place where we could really hide. It seems sort of scrubland, kind of in the open.
You can always go prone and try and sneak up to the ridge and just see if you can see.
Well, I
anything.
mean, if there's a lip of a ridge, we could try and be stealthy.
I could
Crack
have
him small, he
I
could-
could have Boobat go attack them.
No, I don't want them to. I don't want to attack them if they're
We could provoke them.
dangerous. Maybe we can crawl toward the lip of the ridge and peek over and see what we're seeing.
I'm not crawling.
All right, then let's just march to the top then and present ourselves. We can rain holy hellfire down on them if we want to, but we don't know what they are. That's what bothers me. Like Boobat didn't say what they were.
Boobat, did they look like humans?
Shakes head no.
Did they look like little lizards?
Shakes head no.
Did they look like little pieces of fire that can fly around in the air?
Shakes head yes.
Sorry, I feel like I'm metagaming just a little bit.
And
How much would fucking Skeggy know about flame methods?
I mean,
But he might know about.
it's not
The
it's
properties
not
of
necessarily a
fire
flame
elementals.
method either.
Well,
what-
okay. They
I mean,
look like little pieces of
Your
fire.
your
Maybe
best
they're-
guess, it sounds like it. Your
Flame
best guess,
element.
it sounds like a method of some kind, but you're don't have enough information to suss out what kind yet.
think they're some kind of elemental. Whatever they are, maybe they hold the key to whatever kind of magical coal this giant is looking for. I say we march right up and see what they want. If they attack us, so be it. I'm pretty fireproof.
I say we get
Skeggy
ready
starts
for a
going to the
battle,
edge of the cliff.
and then end it.
All right. Are any of you, are you doing it stealthily, or are you just marching up to the cliff?
No, I'm going right up.
Great.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yep.
just thinking stealthy.
Let's go.
When
I
you
already see that anyway.
when you get to the top of the ridge, looking down, it's kind of like a small crater that you're looking down into, and at the center of the crater is a kind of a raised pool of lava that is like gradually spilling out onto the ground around it, and kind of sitting off to the side of the pool of lava are two little like fully black methods as you describe them, but they're like fully black and like they emit wisps of smoke off of their bodies and little tiny embers that come from within their form. They're kind of indistinct. It's hard to get a real read on them when they're just sitting there, because like the cloud of smoke will just accumulate. And you can see there's two of them, and they are currently fucking with a little lizard that's running around between them.
No.
Not a kobold. I mean an actual lizard, like a little like 2-inch long little lizard, like salamander or something. And they're like poking it with rocks and getting it to run around, and then chasing it, picking it up again, and chucking it. You know, they're just fucking with it because they're little demon, like little angry, annoying little bastards. And they're just kind of hanging out.
And that's where we'll
Do you
end this
think
episode.
they know anything
Yeah.
about Professor Belamir? And Skeggy says as he points down into the crater.
As you
Something tells me
as
they
you do that
probably
though, like they become immediately, as soon as they hear your voice, they become immediately disinterested in the lizard, and they look up at you, and they kind of like give off this noise that's like a crackling bonfire, and they point up at you, and the smoke begins to kind of like billow out of them as they begin to flit towards you. And that is where we're going to end the session. So we'll pick up with that.
Alright.
We'll pick up with that next time.
All right.
Next time on the rest of your excursion into the wastelands. Until then, we'll go see you guys later. Bye bye.